So Skype is done.
Okay, guys, we are live. For those listening at home, welcome to the special edition of the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your Dungeon Master for this evening. With me here tonight is one of our regular features on the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. It's Steve O.
How you doing?
And with us as well is another regular fixture of the Live from the Sword Coast podcast, Jeffrey.
Hello.
And we have one other player who may be joining us tonight. Now, tonight's session is going to be a bit of a special one because, for one, Steve is in town from Vancouver. I live in the Canadian city of Calgary, and Steve is in town visiting us and requested that we, well, Steve didn't request, but I think Steve always knows that I'm going to plan something special for gaming when he's in town. So this evening, I have put together something for our enjoyment, hopefully, that Steve has been requesting every other time he's come in town. Sort of.
So directly.
I'll set the stage for the players here. Our scene opens in the blackness of space. And what we see is, as the camera goes down a bit, is a large, kind of like ochre-colored world. There are two moons that sit off very distantly in the horizon, and what we see drifting towards this giant, almost glowing ochre sphere hanging in the blackness of space is a large, kind of almost egg-shaped object, which is drifting along and drifting along. We can see as it gets closer that there is what looks like a single shining kind of metal object. Actually has a series. It's actually quite massive. As it gets closer, you realize that there's a lot of detail and hatches and viewports and so forth in there. And it's clear that it is a what do you call it? A vessel of some kind. There is a series of thrusters that fire on one side that spin this thing cleanly on its axis, and then a series of reverse thrusters that stop it, so that the back end, which is open to these massive thrusters, or a larger series of thrusters, are looking like it's going to be going sort of wide end down towards this giant world. The camera pans in even closer, and you realize the scale of this thing, because it is just, there are two ports along the side that sort of open up, and you see a series of 12 forms drop out of them. Now, each of these things catches in the glinting sunlight from the distant sun. And they each shimmer like falling, almost like falling frozen tears. There are 12 of them in total. And at first, what starts in a line begins to realign into a sort of almost like starlings kind of moving in a singular sort of formation. These four forms drop into formation where there are 4 and 4 and 4. There's now these begin to peel away from the large, kind of ovoid, I guess, form, which then begins roaring as the what do you call this? The thrusters fire, and then as the bottom of that egg-shaped object begins to sort of glow. Each of the 12 glittering forms shaped kind of like flattened arrowheads begin to glow on the bottom and begin to shake a bit as they crest the top of the outermost layer of this planet's atmosphere. As our cameras pan in, we see that at the front, that each of these forms is actually some form of vehicle, and sitting in the cockpit of each of these vehicles is a pilot. And the pilot of one of these objects is each of, so there will be one of your characters.
Dun, dun, dun.
The game that we are playing tonight is
Mother Babies.
Battletech.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So, this is revealed. Woo! Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to give you a little bit of a background about the setting of the world. We're going to quickly generate characters, which for tonight's purposes is they're not going to be. You'll see it's an abridged version of sort of the normal character creation process. Now, for those who let's see, Jeff, are you familiar with the setting of Battletech?
A little bit.
It just doesn't eat it.
We used to play the card game, Kev.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, so for those listening at home, Battletech is a game set in the far future that features basically it's a setting that has grown up around an excuse to play a game where giant robots fight each other or giant mechs fight each other. In this world, the predominant vehicle of warfare is something called a battle mech, which is quite neatly displayed there. Now, the year is 2765. The kind of default setting for Battletech normally is 3025 or 3050, depending on what complexity level of rules you want to play with. Our setting is actually set about 300 years before that. This is during a time when in the Battletech universe, humanity has spread to the stars very early. In our current year of 2765, it is the humanity has been in space for well over half a millennia, at least 500 years. And where things have sort of settled at this point in history is that from the center point of Terra, of Earth, humanity is spread out, and there are a number of sort of successor, or not successor, there are a number of intergalactic governments that have sort of set up and control these vast swaths of space where the inner sphere, the known part of the galaxy are occupied. The center part, which is the most technologically advanced and the wealthiest, is a place known as the Terran hegemony. The other sort of major players in this sphere are what are known as the major houses. You'll see in a moment why they're called the major houses, but those five are the Draconis Combine under House Kurita, which is sort of in the last several hundred years has begun to pattern itself after feudal Japan. Is ruled by House Kurita, a family of Japanese descended people who rigorously follow the Code of Bushido. Adjacent to them is a place called the Federated Sons, which is ruled, which is a kind of pattern itself after European or English nobility. There are lots of knights and so forth, and lords and whatever. Feudalism is very much a reality in much of the world of Battletech, but very much so in the Federated Sons. Federated Sons are ruled by House Davian, which is they're there. Adjacent to them is the Capellan Confederation, which is a sort of like, imagine if 60s era China expanded out across the universe. There's a state-controlled economy underneath the ruling family of House Liao. They have secret police. They have strictly controlled economies, strictly controlled populace. The Capellan Confederation is very tiny in comparison to the other major houses, but what it lacks in space, it makes up for in basically deviousness, military strength, and willingness to go to any lengths, and to also, I guess, control the entire populace and the economy. Adjacent to them is a place called the Free Worlds League. The Free Worlds League is really a sort of glommed together major entity from other relatively independent states. The Free Worlds League is ruled by a parliament, which is dominated by the sort of regional powers. But in the last 100 years, it's the position, sorry, not last 100, last 200 years, this, the person who sits atop sort of and runs the Free Worlds League is a guy named the Captain General. They come from House Merrick. And that because of the involvement of this, of the Free Worlds League with another organization I'm going to mention in a moment, now the Captain General has suddenly had a much stronger role to play in the overall politics, but it's a very factionalized and kind of fractured place. Lots of civil strife and so forth. But it is quite advanced technologically and militarily quite powerful as well. Adjacent to them, the final is the Lyran Commonwealth, which is dominated by the House Steiner. The Lyran Commonwealth favors heavy mechs and commerce. They are the richest of all the major houses, and they also, while they have the money does bankroll a lot of major weaponry and so forth. Unfortunately, they also have because they sort of play the political game more so than the tactical game. So they're plagued with what are called social generals, guys who and girls who are in a position of military authority by virtue of their family connections or the wealth of their relatives or their own personal wealth rather than their actual qualifications. So it sort of balances against the otherwise strong industrial backing of the Lyran Commonwealth. So those five houses, House Liao, House Steiner, House Karita, House Davian, and House Merrick, make up the five major houses. Now you'll notice I didn't mention the Terran hegemony. That's because about 200 years ago, the Terran hegemony convinced all the other major houses to join together in one political union called the Star League. Star League is now about 250 years old, 250 years old. And maybe it's even older than that. I may be wrong, but I think it's about that old. And the Star League has really caused both the Star League and the Terran hegemony to really benefit. The first Lord of the Star League currently is a guy named Richard Steiner. Richard Steiner is, I believe it's Richard Cameron. The Camerons are the ruling family for the Terran hegemony. And because Terra is the birthplace of all humankind, and because of the military and technological strength of the Terran hegemony, they have always dominated and provided the place for the First Lord amongst the Star League. The Star League started off by being a bit of just a loose association that may have fallen apart had they not found a common enemy in the states that rim sort of the most developed parts of the inner sphere. It's called the inner sphere because there's the inner sphere, which is the five houses plus the Terran hegemony, and then outside of that is what they call the periphery. There are periphery states, which can be as small as one world or as large as hundreds. And the periphery states, about 160 or 170 years ago, the Star League decided that everyone, all mankind, needed to be under the same banner. So they, for some fairly loose excuses, launched what are called the Reunification Wars. Now, the Reunification Wars took about 20 years to work through them, and the Reunification Wars saw not only the deployment of high technology, like conventional aircraft, conventional vehicles, battle mechs, aerospace fighters, artillery, all the different engines of war. It also saw widespread use of nuclear and biological weapons, which were devastating on the places where the war was fought, which is the periphery states. Now, since the Reunification Wars ended, everyone has been under one Star League. But there are a number of nations, periphery nations that have not forgotten that. In fact, really none of them have ever forgotten the, one sec here, sorry, Jeff, I'm hitting too many damn buttons here. There we go. None of them have forgotten. One of which is a place called the Taurian Concordant. The Taurian Concordant has the distinction of, even though it is a periphery state, it is the oldest interstellar nation in the entire Battletech universe. At the time of the Reunification Wars, it was arguably had the most educated and most liberal society. The Reunification Wars took their toll on them, but they remain fiercely independent, even though that what was imposed on them at the end of it was a series of, they had free education for every member of their populace. What has happened since then is that free education has to incorporate a lot of Star League propaganda now. You have to say an oath to the Star League, you have to face Terra and make a distinction or a comment once a day while you're in school. A sort of constant reminder from childhood that you live under the yoke of another entity. Now, where our story opens is you guys are members of a Star League. They're the fighting force for the Star League is the Star League Defense Force, the SLDF. There they are. There's a picture of one massive battle mech. It's an Atlas. You might recognize. Yeah. So, Star League Defense Force has a number of different kinds of units in it. One of them are called the Royal Units. The Royal Units get the benefit of having the most advanced technology of any kind that they get to use before anyone else does. And then once that stuff sort of trickles down, it goes to the regular units for the Star League Defense Force. Then it'll go to the major house units, and then it'll maybe make its way to the periphery eventually. What has happened in recent history is that the last First Lord was a guy named Simon Cameron. Simon Cameron was killed tragically in 2753 when there was an accident with, he was at a mining facility on an asteroid. He was, doing the thing that politicians do, which is like, oh yes, I'll see how these things work. And somehow one of the mining mechs malfunctioned and broke through the plastic or plasteel barrier that was keeping him from empty space, and Simon Cameron got sucked out into space. His son was Richard Cameron II. Is it Richard or is it Jonathan? Sorry, guys. Richard, it is Richard. So Richard, his son, becomes the First Lord. However, he's a child at this time. So rather than letting a child run the things, the general of the Star League Defense Force, a guy named Alexander Kerensky, became the regent, and he tried his best to teach Richard how to be a good leader. Unfortunately, at that same time, there was, everyone was trying to get in. With all the major houses were trying to get in with Richard and trying to get his get him to believe them and follow them. Most were unsuccessful with this strange little kid, except for the ruler of a periphery state called the Rim World Republic, a guy named Stefan Amaris. He managed to make friends with him, and the likelihood of a 10-year-old boy being friends with a 41-year-old man would have been really questionable in another time. Not Sparta, but in this time, because everyone was happy to see this somewhat troubled and lonely child make some kind of friend, he was there. Now, since that was 2753, that was about 12 years ago. In 12 years since, Richard has grown up and become his own man, influenced somewhat by Kerensky, but influenced very heavily by Amaris. And Amaris has gotten more and more close to Richard, to the First Lord. Kerensky, who is the commander of the Star League Defense Force, would have happily played a stronger role, but over the last 12 years, things have been getting more and more agitated and more difficult on the periphery. So what's happened is that the Star League Defense Force has had to constantly push or place more forces and more troops in the periphery to try and maintain peace. terrorist actions, including fairly severe terrorist actions, are not uncommon in this area. What was left as a kind of simmering hatred at the end of the reunification wars 160 years ago is beginning to boil over into something much more serious now. Two other major events that have happened. In 2762, 3 years ago, the First Lord Cameron tried to pass an edict that eliminated the armed forces of each of the major houses. As it stands, each of the major houses is restricted to a certain number of mustered troops. Now, the loophole that each of them has found is that there's no restriction on how much guns and battle mechs and drop ships and stuff you can build. You can build as many as you want. You just can't have standing armies if it's more than a certain size. What he tried to do is disband them altogether. Not surprisingly, that didn't fly. The First Council, which is the council of all the great lords of each of the houses that advises the First Lord, they all kiboshed that idea. Kerensky also said, no, that's crazy. The only person who actually went along with it was Stefan Amaris.
Stefan Amaris, I like the sound of him.
In 2763, 3 years ago, the First Lord also passed a massive new edict that dramatically increased taxation on the periphery states. The periphery states have always sort of suffered under fairly onerous taxation, but this new set of taxes really set things up to a much more catastrophically serious stage. So that's where in the last 2 years, things have gotten very, very serious. And you're seeing at this point, there's probably a quarter of the Starlight Defense Force is stationed in the periphery. And the periphery probably only makes up about a tenth of the overall space. So where we find ourselves at the beginning, this is early April in 2765. You are members of a royal unit as members of the 19th Army of the Starlight Defense Force. You are part of, I believe it is, I got it written down. You guys are a part of, I think it is 56th Corps in the 19th Army. 56th Corps. You're stationed on a world called New Vandenberg. Vandenberg is one of the major cities in the Taurian Concordant, one of the major places. And unfortunately, New Vandenberg was also the site of some of the bloodiest and most contentious fighting during the reunification wars. So this resentment towards Star Lake has been a fairly long-standing, simmering part of New Vandenberg culture. So you have the unenviable task of being here. Now, the special part of your unit, or the specialty you use, is you guys, while battle mechs are the kings of the battlefield, one of the remarkable new introductions have been in the last, I think it's only 100 years, have been these things called land-air mechs. Basically what they are is battle mechs that can actually transform into aerospace fighters. So imagine it was a pilot project of one of the Camerons who got the Starleague technicians to develop a type of battle mech, a craft that could both fight as a battle mech on the ground, could act as a mid-ground in-air support type thing, and could traverse the atmosphere and be used for extraplanetary operations as well. You guys, what I described before as falling down from the sky, is this. This is the Phoenix Hawk land-air mech.
Nice.
Okay, that is the Batloid or the battle mech form. That is the air mech form, and the what do you call it? The aerospace fighter form. Jeff, I'll show you here for those listening at home. Okay, there is the Phoenix Hawk in the aerospace form. There it is as the air mech form. And in the battle mech form.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Okay, this thing is armed with an extended range large laser, which is a state-of-the-art long-range weapon, and 4 medium lasers as well, which are medium range, high energy weaponry. With you as well are the Phoenix Hawk is the heaviest and most so is the heaviest version of land air mech or LAM that has been built. So each of you are the head of 1 lance. A lance is 4 battle mechs. So each of you is the sergeant or the highest ranking person of a lance of 3 others. The other 3 mechs are what are called wasps. It's the wasp LAM. The wasp LAM is a lighter mech, or sorry, a lighter land air mech. It's faster than the Phoenix Hawk, less armored, less heavily armed though. So that is sort of where we start. Now, what I'm going to have you do is, because it's been fun doing the kind of the random generation, what I've done to distinguish your guys is you're going to roll up. The things we'll need for this are your nationality, because this unit is made up with members, not direct members necessarily, but members of the major houses. You have serious political juice in the houses. Now, the houses have sort of fallen out of favor with, or at least have not been crazy about Star League since the Edict of 2062, when they tried to disband all the units. Since then, the houses have really gone out of their way to try and not cooperate with the Star League, in particular the Star League Defense Force. But you guys would have been members of this elite unit beforehand anyway. Okay. We're also going to randomly generate what your special abilities are, because each of you will have some special abilities. You will each have a special truth that we will randomly generate as well, and contacts, both military and civilian, that you've cultivated in your time on New Vandenberg. Okay?
Well,
Excellent.
So, there's that. Where the hell did I put my pencils or pens? Did I put them down here, or did I leave them somewhere? Oh, here.
I'm just going to grab a glass of water. I'll be back in.
Yeah, sure. Let's get my coffee as well. Where did I put? Where did I put?
Can I be the ketchup troops instead of the mustard troops?
The mustard troops? Where the hell did I put those pens? Oh, I put them in my pocket. There you go. There you go.
Sweet.
Okay, so Steve, go ahead and grab your. I'm going to use the Spider-Man dice because I always use Spider-Man dice.
Of course.
And here you go. You
They
pick
like
from
you. All right.
radioactive ones there.
Let's see, radioactive, orange, orange. I'm kind of done with the orange. Here we go. Radioactive was kind of cool too.
So you want any coffee, or you could do vino?
I'll have a coffee. Sure. Oh, we use A38. Oh, sure, I'll have a little bit.
Yo, what?
Well, that's it.
Live large.
Dun, dun, dun.
There you go. A little caffeino.
What is that?
You're welcome. All right.
Coffee and wine. Dessert of champions.
Heck yeah. Okay. So, what I'm gonna have you guys do is please, and what I'll do is I'll alternate back and forth between who gets to roll first here. So Steve, you're here. You're the guest. Why don't you roll 1d6 for me, please?
Boom. 3.
3. You are from House Davian.
Yeah.
So you can write down House Davian.
Davian.
So which one was Davian again?
Davian is the one that has a strong English sort of nobility.
Okay, yeah.
It also has, like, to be honest, each of these regions sort of have some internal strife and whatnot that's going on in their respective houses. The Davian has a significant a family that is trying to challenge the Davian line as well. So, Jeff, go ahead and roll yours.
3 as well.
3. No, then what I'll do is I will bump you down. Oh, interesting. You are from House Gorita. So you are the ones who have patterned themselves or their society after feudal Japan.
Okay, cool.
For the Draconis Combine. I can actually, hold up, I can show you guys some neat, let me see here, I've got the symbols of each of the families. There's House Davian.
Excellent.
Okay. And that House Davian is the starburst there. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's the shine. There we go. And yours is House Karita, the dragon. The
Cool.
red. Yeah. Okay, so the House Karita. Now, the stereotype for each of these, for the two are, first off, you guys are actually, you share a border. And the Draconis Combine under House Karita and the Federated Sons under House Davian have actually fought relatively recently a pretty ugly war over succession. They also, because they share a border, not surprisingly, they go to war fairly often. They both have a fairly martial stance as well, though the stereotype of the Karitan soldier is the, Bushido following, basically modern samurai, whereas the stereotype of the of House Davian is the honor-bound, mechanized knight. Now, you guys can decide: do you wish to cling to that? Is that stereotype true of your character, or is your character the exception?
I believe in the concept of the Mecha Knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with also being the stereotypical House
Cool.
Karita.
So then you likely bring your daisho with you in the Battletech cockpit because you're going off to battle.
Right.
You may bring some other something that
My 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, really. My squire, my Battletech squire. Awesome. Okay, so then, each Davian, the predominant cultures in the Federated Sons are, in terms of your first name, obviously English, and then up here the others are. The others are French, German, Hindi, and Russian. So you think about what's your name. Something Davian is going to be your name. And then Jeff, the Draconis Combine. The Japanese, obviously, is a very strong presence, but also Arabic, English, and Swedish.
Mm.
So mine again were
yours are English, French, German, Hindi, and Russian.
excellent. I'll go with Mika Davian, M-I-K-K-A.
Awesome. Mika Davian, okay. And your guy, Jeff?
I am gonna go with Alf.
Alf?
Yep,
Alf Karita.
Alf Karita.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So the next thing since nobody is, actually, we'll do the positive stuff first here. Why don't you Jeff, we'll start with you now. Roll 1d6. We're going to find out a truth about you.
Dun, dun, dun.
A truth.
A truth.
I like
A
it.
6.
A 6. Ooh. So here's the truth. You believe that, or at least the outward face that you play or put to the wider world is that you are Alf Karita, the son of one of the relatively minor, or one of the members of the, and actually, no, sorry, strike that, not minor. You are not that far away from the throne. You're a pretty high-ranking member of the Karitan royal family. And this is based, I'm going to say, on your. Well, actually, you tell me. Is it based on your father or your mother?
I'm gonna say my mother.
Your mother. Okay, so your mother was a Karita. Now here's the shocking truth. Your actual father was a Cameron.
Oh.
So you are actually, thanks to a scandalous relationship, you actually, by a series of dynastic sort of marriages, or actually really not that far, thanks to your father's dalliances, you actually have a fairly legitimate claim, or would, to the throne of the first lord.
Dang.
Now there are obviously a bunch of other Camerons that are similar competitors or similar claimants to it, but you do have a claim. You're actually a Cameron, not a Karita. How does your guy feel about that? It's a secret, but
right. I think he's very loyal to the Karita family.
okay, cool. So that may be why he threw himself into the whole Bushido thing too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, he's not interested in the politics of the
Camerons
or whatever. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And Steve, roll 1d6. Let's see what your truth is.
3.
Okay. There is a what do you call it? Similar to the you got to give it to her, otherwise she's never gonna leave you alone. Hey, Emmy, just tell her shh. No, honey, no. Emmy, stop it. Okay, no, Emmy, come here. Leave Steve alone.
But Steve likes to play with me.
I love Steve. Steve, okay, so there is a group of soldiers who are the absolute elites, arguably the finest warriors in all of the Inner Sphere. There is a program called the Gunslinger Program in the Starleague Defense Force. What this is it sets up basically sort of like duelists in mechs.
Top Gun.
Okay? So, like Top Gun, but for battle mech pilots. The elite of the gunslinger thing.
Keep rolling with the homoerotic.
Can be, they play volleyball together. Yeah. They also become members of the special guard, the Black Watch, who guard the Cameron family and guard Unity City on Terra, the capital of the entire Starleague. You tell me,
one of them.
Is it your brother or your father who is a member of the Black Watch?
Gunslingers Black
is really arguably one in terms of the as far as the Starleague is concerned, is one of the most distinguished places you could be.
Cool. Okay, I'd say my brother.
Your brother, okay, older or younger?
He would be. Let's go older. Yep.
I forgot to mention you guys are each 20 years old.
20 years. That makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, you got some pretty big shoes to. Yeah. Okay, so that's the truth behind your guys. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Why don't you, Jeff? You rolled us. So, Steve, why don't you roll 1d6? Let's see what your special abilities are.
Amazingly quick reactions. Rolling 3s is my special ability. All right.
Okay. You are getting a special ability that I'm calling Run and Gun.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. So what Run and Gun, it gives you 2 special abilities. One of them is called Marksman.
Marksman.
Okay.
That sounds good.
What Marksman allows you to do is if you don't move during your movement phase, then any successful target that if you hit them, they, instead of taking the normal damage they would take, they would only take 1 point of damage. But if you score a MOS, which is the margin of success, if you roll 3 or higher than the target number you need, then that target takes a critical hit.
Interesting.
So even though you're not doing on like peeling away the armor on it, you hit it and boom, it can fuck up something internally. Okay, you
Interesting.
gotta stop still and make that shot.
All right.
So that's the gun part of the run and gun.
Interesting. All
The
right.
run part of the run and gun is you also have an ability called Speed Demon.
Oh yeah.
So basically what it is you gain an extra 2 inches of movement. It's an extra 2 to your move.
2 move. Nice.
When you drive it, and your sprinting, which is when you're really trying to pull it on, is increased by 4.
Hey. Oh, that's cool. So wait a second. So the marksman, is that optional?
Optional.
Optional. Okay.
Yep. If you don't move during your turn,
Right.
the trouble is you're going to have to either hover in the only mode you can hover in is in the air mech mode.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay. You can also use the what do you call it? You can in a battle mech mode. You can just change and then line up a shot and then boom.
All right.
Can't really use this in aerospace, but
Right.
that's your sort of the two things. Cool. Run, you can really make crazy movement with it. Gun is you can stop, make your shot, and then leap back into mode.
Oh, I like it.
Each round, you can change modes as well. You start the turn, and you change and decide what mode you're going to change into.
All right.
Okay.
So I can't do speed demon and marksman in the same turn.
Speed Demon is always in play, but you can't move during that turn.
All right. Right.
Right. So yeah,
that makes sense.
to use marksman. Okay. And Jeffrey, why don't you roll 1d6?
6.
Whoa! Okay, you've got an ability called tactical. Sorry, it's called tactical genius.
Oh, I get.
So what this is an officer with this special ability has a superior grasp of the battlefield situation and can tap into this combat sense to maintain control even under the most chaotic firefights. When you roll initiative, if the opponent beats yours, you can choose to re-roll your initiative.
Cool.
Okay. In addition, you've got something called the MHQ ability, which I don't recall what it does, but if you give me a sec here, I'm going to tell you. Ouch. You also have an ability called human technical readout. What that means is that when you see an opposing target, as long as you can get a good sensor reading on it, you can tell what what its capabilities are.
Right, like I know all about that mech.
Exactly. And not just mechs, battle mechs, conventional vehicles, aircraft, aerospace fighters, drop ships, capital ships, anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Your guy is, for whatever reason, has just poured through these manuals and memorized every single thing. Okay, so the, let me see here. MHQ.
Hey.
Oh, she chewing on
Me.
Oh, she's licking you?
Chew my pants.
But I like you. Oh, she won't chew the pants. I think she's just licking. She likes licking. Okay, where is it here? Where is it here? There we go, special use. MHQ. In here. So the one thing they did not do, what this is, so in terms of rules, guys, just so you understand, what we're playing is, hey, Emmy, be a lady. Be a lady. We are playing a version of the, it's a slightly modified version of a set of rules that came out about a year ago called Alpha Strike. Battletech normally takes a dog's age to play. Like it's a very, they've not changed the rules significantly since it first came out in the mid 80s. It takes a dog's age to move every single mech. You track every single weapon that mech has. It takes a long time to play through. What Alpha Strike does is it simplifies a lot of the mechanics and stuff behind there. Emmy, hey! What are you doing? Is her bone around here somewhere?
She wants to play, I think. Her thing is there.
Emmy, hey, doofus, go get it. Go get it. Be a lady. What Alpha Strike does is it streamlines a lot of the rules. And then what I'm doing is I'm using some rules from the role-playing game, Time of War, to supplement that along with some other shit that I've made up. MHQ. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, so actually, Jeff, so what it does is basically, if you make a successful sensor check before a an encounter actually gets to combat, you can get
Yeah.
+1 to your initiative as well. And sorry, +1 to everyone's initiative.
Okay.
So what you've done is sort of, it's you saying like, okay, guys, here's what I see here. Let's fucking do this, you know, and that gives everyone a +1. And then you still also have the ability to, if someone beats you on initiative, you can choose to re-roll it. Emmy, no. Yeah. Okay. So those are your special abilities. That's the good stuff. Now let's take a look at the bad stuff. I need you to roll. Jeff, you're up first now. Go ahead and roll 1d6 for me, please.
4.
4. Okay. So, let's see here. There we go. Oh, okay. You got in for life. What this ability is what this disadvantage is basically it reflects that you are a member of some organization that you've got no chance to quit. What I'm going to suggest is either the Yakuza, which plays a fairly significant role in Draconis Combine, or perhaps I'm trying to think I can't remember offhand the name of the Draconis Combine has a special sort of what do you call it? A secret police group, but the Yakuza may be the most evocative for this. In for life. So does that sound okay to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Steve, go ahead and roll 1d6.
Okay, here we go. Boom, 6.
6. 4. You have compulsion.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to say gambling.
All right, gambling it is, especially craps. All right.
Yep. So you got a, what do you call it? You unfortunately have the disadvantage of you are a remorseless and inveterate gambler. Yeah, that is the one, I guess, chink in your armor, which actually leads into our next thing we're going to quickly roll for.
Because, of course, that would spill over into fighting. I mean, like, you gamble when you fight, too. You know, you got to be risk taker.
Well, there is a, I can't recall right now if it's a thing in this period, but there is in the Battletech universe a place called Solaris 7, which is the center of battle mech, basically competitive battle mech combat, and massive bets are placed on the results of those arena fights.
Nice.
Okay. Where is
And
my...
I always bet on myself.
Here we go. Okay, now, let's see here. Jeff rolled first last time, so Steve, you go ahead and roll first. This is your... now, this is a contact on New Vandenberg.
1.
Okay, there is a guy or a girl in the logistics department. In sort of the... he is the one who... like a girl. Okay, so it's a girl from the logistics department who basically deals with like all the information coming in and out. So you've sort of got, it's your way of getting an eye on the bigger picture, I guess.
Right.
Okay. So she provides you that. This is a contact you can play up. You can. You're going to tell me what her name is and how you know her. Emmy, that's enough. Okay, calm down. No, Emmy, calm down. Boy, she likes you.
Yes, she does.
You good girl. Hey, stay quit being. See, Emmy, quit being a dink. Okay, that's enough. Your tail's going like crazy. Jeff, roll 1d6 for me, please.
All right. 5.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, okay. At some point along the way, you met and have acquired a contact with the Star League Intelligence Corps, which is has the unfortunate acronym SLIC. So there is basically a member of military intelligence that you have a contact with on New Vandenberg. As with Steve, I'm going to get you to tell me how you know this person. And you know why? It's because you sit in the ground. We never sit in the ground.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's why she thinks it's playtime. That's why. Okay, get out. That's enough. Nope. Emmy, stop. Okay, hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Settle down. Sit. Okay.
Well, I know this girl because, we basically kind of grew up together, and so we're sort of old friends. And I call her for favors, and she can't say no.
Okay. Did you guys date at one point?
There was some tension there, but we were just buddies. It never really happened.
Okay. What's her name?
Mika. That's my name.
No, what's her name? Mika, I'm asking.
Her name is Charlotte.
Charlotte. Okay.
Yes.
And Jeff, how do you know this Slick character?
I am gonna say. So I was thinking that for this Yakuza contact.
Knock it off. Come here. Come here. No growling. Sit. You stay. Be good, okay? Come on. Here. I'll be sending you. Come here. Don't be a dink. What's this? What's this? Here. Okay.
I'm irresistible to dogs.
What's this? What's this?
Yeah.
Sit down.
No.
Sit down.
But although I hang out with cats a lot.
Get down. Sit. Sit.
My buddy has 2 cats.
Get down. Go.
Pay attention to them. They just want to continue to play.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I stopped playing with her about 2 hours ago now, but she hasn't forgotten.
No.
Okay. Okay. Sit. Sit. Hey.
Do you have pets?
No. My parents have a bunch of cats.
Good girl.
I don't know. I figure since I'm not tied down with anyone right now, I might as well not have a pet either.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So she's got I just gave her a new bone that should keep her occupied for the evening.
Good.
Okay. Sorry, Jeff. What was your guy?
Well, what I was thinking for this Yakuza thing is that my older sister is like married into one of the leaders of the Yakuza.
Awesome.
So like I'm his little brother. That's how I'm like in for life, right? I'm through marriage.
Okay.
And so they kind of pulled me into that a little bit. And I'm going to say the Star League, his name is Mark.
Okay.
And I met him because he was running an operation on the Yakuza. And I befriended him, and he used me to get information, and we became friends.
Awesome. Okay. So his stationing on New Vandenberg may have it may have come as a surprise to you then, because the Torian Concordant, where New Vandenberg is located, is actually fairly far away from the although actually the Draconis Combine isn't, well, nothing is really that far away. So yeah, he's now suddenly, you found him out here. He is doing investigation on in this. So last thing I need you to roll is your what do you call it? Your civilian contact. So Jeff, why don't you go ahead and roll first?
2.
Ooh, you've made maybe, I don't know why you track these types, but one of your contacts, someone you've met out here, is a criminal, but he's also a rat. He is a informer for one of the things that you guys are investigating and are tasked with dealing with is obviously insurgents in the Torian Concordant, and what you're dealing with or what you've cultivated through him is someone who's happy to inform you on, hey, I suspect there's a terrorist whatever in here, or I've heard that there's something going on wherever. You then pass, I guess, that back to Mark, and then Mark passes up the food chain, and they make decisions based on some of that information.
Okay, cool. His name is Carlos.
Carlos, love it. Okay. Carlos is also the one who has provided you access with to a regular gambling a regular poker game that Mika partakes in. Both of you, the one sort of bonding experience you guys have is that you initially maybe to help cultivate the contacts for Mark and Mika, because you needed to get off, is you guys sometimes sneak off of the Star League garrison or Star League fort and make your way out to a local bar that Carlos either runs or regularly meets at, where you get involved with a regular poker game.
I like it.
Okay. Roll your contact.
6.
Ooh.
Is it regular contact?
Yeah. Your contact is actually a member of the Taurian armed forces.
Taurian armed forces. Okay.
Yeah, someone who's a member of the local garrison. So you may manage to make friends with someone who's actually a member of not the resistance, because the Taurian Concordant has its own armed forces.
Okay.
So you can kind of, to help picture it, the Taurian Concordant troops, it's a very distinctive sigil that the Concordant has. And this is it. Where is it? Yes, right there.
Interesting. Nice. They're into the bulls. All right, man.
This is the Taurian Concordant symbol.
Nice.
So the Taurian Armed Forces, your contact is through them. So you've how do you think you met him at one of these poker games, or how somewhere else?
Interesting. Where I met this guy. Oh, definitely drinking somewhere for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first place. I don't really remember anything from that part. We just got really drunk.
Okay, so maybe this is someone who you regularly gamble with too. Like it's someone who you met at the same game.
Get along with.
He realized you remember the Star League, or the SLDF, but eventually you're like, fuck it, who cares? It wasn't something that wasn't taking necessarily personally. So
right.
Interesting. Okay, so you got a collaborator and you got a member of the actual Taurian Armed Forces who. Okay.
Nice.
So now what you guys have to decide, last thing you have to decide is we're going to start with 3 skills. The 3 skills you have are piloting, gunnery, and sensors. You can put 4 in one of those and 5 in the other 2. Now, what you're going to be doing is when your task resolution in this is 2d6 against a target number equal to your skill.
Okay.
So the higher it is, the lower it is, the better it is.
Right.
There will be modifiers that will be added to it that will make that target number higher or lower. But that is what that's what you guys have. So.
So 4 is your best.
Yep. 1 will be at 4. The other 2 will be at 5. The way that you use them, piloting, is used to in combat in aerospace to maneuver and position yourself. Also, if you want to do something called evading, make yourself harder to hit for a round. Peel on the speed and kind of keep make it harder to hit. That uses piloting as well. Gunnery, I'm gonna guess that you can figure out what gunnery is used for, making things go boom. And sensors are used generally beforehand. Like Jeff, you use sensors to determine if you're going to get that everyone gets that +1 to their initiative. You use sensors to detect hidden hidden units. Nope, Jeff's computer just had a heart attack.
Oh,
Jeffrey.
Yeah. Well, I like the pilot, especially my abilities. I'm piloting, gunnery. Tough one. It is nice to have a piloting of 4.
I'm gonna invite Jeff again.
Gunnery of 5 kind of sucks. Yeah, you never hit anything, but
Oh, there's one more thing I got to add too. You actually got you've got sort of the equivalent of feat points in this as well. Something called edge.
Oh yes, of course, edge. Right, I remember that. I remember edge.
Yeah.
Um.
So Even if you have shitty scores, you will have something to mitigate the shittiness of those scores.
Of course, my abilities are critical on a 3+ MOS. Margin of success. Margin of success. Margarine of success. I have it on my toast every day. Whoa, what's up? All right. Let's go.
Okay, I'm just going to send.
Screw it. I'll take a gunnery 4.
Oh, Jeffrey, you back?
You're back twice. 2 Jeffs.
Yes. What?
There's 2 Jeffs.
Is there 2 of me?
Quit talking twice.
Hold up, I can.
It's really good.
Okay, yeah, I ejected the one of you.
Yeah, I don't need to be 2.
I hated that other Jeff.
Okay, here, Jeff, I'm going to send you a link to something here. How do I do that? Where is it here? Chat, yes. Okay, tell me if that opens up properly for you.
What? This is from your computer. What?
Oh, hold up. Maybe it's like, okay, I'm going to send you a different link. One sec. They save it in this really fucked up format. So you got to like open it in, if you open it with Internet Explorer or with some other web program, it should be fine. So I just sent you a link here.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That
Okay.
worked.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so at the bottom, there is a thing that looks like a little card. Do you see that? You scroll down.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Alpha Strike card. Yeah, I
if
see it.
you click on that, yeah, that's what we need. If you click on that, you can open it in with what the fuck, with a web browser, and it'll give you a nice big larger version.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, this is good.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to quickly run through the stats here because this is how simple this game is now. Okay, you've got here, the TP is the type of unit. It's a battle mech. SZ is the size. Size is 1. That's how much damage you'll do if you fight hand to hand with your battle mech.
Gotcha.
TMM, I don't know what it is. I can't find it in any of the rule books, and it doesn't have any bearing as far as I can tell.
All right.
The Emmy, calm the fuck down. Where is it? Gee, bus. Here, there you go. There you go. Move, MV is your move. Basically, it's 10. And the J tells you that it's jumping. So what it means is that there's no terrain that can affect that movement.
Okay.
If you're on the ground, just like in Battletech, it's like difficult terrain if you're moving through woods or rocky ground or whatever. Emmy, no, sit. Emmy, sit. Hey, get your bone. So what that means is you guys can jump. You can ignore the skill. You can ignore the roll. Damage is S is short range, M is medium range, L is long range. Does either 3, 3, or 1. That tells you the range determines how many of your things hit when you successfully hit someone. OV is the overheat value. You can't overheat with this one because it's just nothing. You'd ignore that. You can ignore the heat scale.
Cool.
The A is your armor. That's how much damage you can take before taking any kind of critical hits or possible critical hits.
Yeah.
Anything going wrong with the interior of your thing. The S is your structure. That's how much interior damage you can take before your thing falls apart and ceases functioning, or really ceases being a thing. And then the And the fusion engine that powers the battle mech goes off. Boom. For every hit that you take in the structure, in the interior structure, you potentially take critical damage. So you want to make sure you try and keep your vehicle as undamaged as possible, but that's an impossibility in Battletech, as we all know.
Right.
Special abilities, the ENE means energy, means that you don't carry any ammo. So any critical hit that's an ammo hit, you ignore. On vehicles or battle mechs that carry ammo, critical hit on the ammo means that whole battle mech blows up as the ammo cooks off. Fuel is something that doesn't come into play for this game. It's what you use in outer space battles. Lamb means you guys are a lamb. You see there's a 30 inches and G. That means when you're in air mech mode, you're moving at 30 inches per round.
Okay.
And G means you hover above the ground. So as you can see, in battle mech mode, you're moving 10. In air mech mode, you're moving 30.
Gotcha.
And the final one is /5A. That's when you're in aerospace fighter mode. That is something that is really only used in comparison to other aerospace fighters.
All right.
Okay. 5 is not super fast, but actually as a speed demon, yours is 1 higher.
Ah, nice.
Okay, so you have a 6 instead of a 5. The critical hits on the side there, that tells you how many hits each of the different things can take, your engine, your fire control, your weapons, the movement points. Every time you take a critical hit, it tells you what the effect is. So an engine, one engine hit means every time you fire your weapons, you're gaining 1 heat. Once you hit 4 heat, your thing shuts down.
Oh, okay. I'll sit down.
You need to not fire any weapons for 1 round, and then normally your heat will go down by 1. So we will see, this is, as I said, a very abstracted version of sort of the full Battletech rules, but I think it'll work really cool and really well for the purpose of just a more narrative role-playing kind of thing. So we are now going to, and you know what, shoot, I'll send you one more link here, Jeff, so you got the stats for the Wasp as well. This is actually really cool. The site that I'm on right now, the master unit list, this thing has alpha strike rules for pretty much every vehicle and mech and everything in the game. It's just awesome. So if you want to, what do you call it? Like for, normally you have to buy books that have all the stats and stuff for Battletech right. in it. But this provides it with, you know, ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, and here's the stats for the Wasp, Jeff. I'll just send that to you. As you can see, the Wasps are a lot less heavily armored and so forth. So Wasps are here. I got their stats here. It's short, medium, long is 220. Okay. Armor's 3. Strike is 3. Their move. Oh no, the Wasp is the same as you, I guess. Hold up.
Very similar.
Yeah, it's very similar. So it's just the armor is slightly less. We're here, Wasp Lamb. Oh, I looked at the wrong one. Okay, so 121.
Right.
Which means they've got long range. You guys, do you have long range?
We had 331.
331. Oh yeah, great. So medium range is sort of their ideal spot there with 2 points of armor. 3. Oh, IF. What IF is indirect fire.
Yeah, nice.
They can, if they have someone else spotting for them, they can try and fire. Basically, what it means, Jeff, is they've got long range missiles that they can fire up and down onto people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You don't necessarily need a line of sight. It can be very handy for. It's a nasty trick that you do with missiles in this game, long range missiles at least. Okay, so that is our characters. That is our your background. Did you decide on what skills you want to set, Jeff?
Well, you were saying I can. The 4 is the better.
Yeah. So 1 is 4, and the other 2 are at 5.
Okay.
The other thing, which I forgot to mention because I'm a fucking Bush League DM, is that you guys also have a stat called Edge. Edge is kind of like the feat points or karma or force points or whatever for this game. You guys have. Let's see here. Amy, here it is. Here it is. Here you go. Yes, good girl. Go get it. Good girl. You have 4 points of edge. Now, here's what edge can be used for. You can spend edge after you roll to re-roll. And when you re-roll twice and take the better of all 3. You can choose. Sorry, no, that's not true. That's not true. Yeah, I'm confusing it with GURPS. You can choose to re-roll your roll if you spend it afterwards. If you spend it before, you get to get 3d6 and keep the 2 highest.
Oh. 2k3.
Nice. Yeah. You can spend a point of edge to make a minor edit to a scene. So you can, you know, if you want to describe some kind of cover or some kind of whatever, that you can use it to do that. Also, when you spend edge beforehand to roll the 3d6, your dice can explode.
Ooh, exploders, eh? Wow, nice. That's something.
Final thing is, you can spend edge on a 1-for-1 basis to reduce damage to a vehicle.
1-to-1 DR.
So you got tagged and you take 4 points of damage, or let's say you get tagged, you take 2 points of damage. You could spend 1 point of edge to reduce that to 1 point.
Okay.
Now imagine you're asking, well, how do I get my edge back? Well, edge is got back by A, doing cool and heroic things, B, doing interesting and fun things, like if you do something that really entertains us or whatever, and 3, by fucking up. If you royally pooch a roll, if you roll 2 1s on a roll, that is a fumble. If you fumble, the upside to it is you get a point of edge back.
Okay.
So crit is awesome. A fumble, at least there's something that comes from it, but there's usually something bad that happens as well.
Right.
So that is how you get edge back. So we now turn back to the scene that was where we left. You guys in the cockpits of the what do you call it? Of the Phoenix Hawks. I'm actually going to. Brett's character has peeled off his non-existent character. One of the lances of your company, the formation of 3 lances together is a company. 1 lance pulls off, leaving just you guys and your lance mates each. I'm going to suggest we just call your lance mates ABC. If you want to come up with names that correspond to ABC, go nuts. But that's one easy way for us to keep track of damage and actions and so forth with these guys. Okay?
Right.
So, or I guess we could also do ABC for your lance and DEF for your lance.
Right.
Then we know who everybody is. So, you just hit the atmosphere and you're rattling and going down. Now, where you are is you guys are being inserted into what do you call it? A planet in the Vandenberg system. Now, New Vandenberg is technically one of several planets in the Vandenberg system. It is Vandenberg, I believe it's 6. Where you are going now is Vandenberg 3. Vandenberg 3 is a planet that was in the process of being terraformed during the time when the reunification wars broke out about 180 years ago. Unfortunately, in the course of the reunification wars and the use of biological and chemical and nuclear weapons, Emmy, stop being a dink. Good God. Hey, Emmy, leave Steve alone. Okay, she does this to Jaden too.
Yeah.
She play. In the course of that stuff, the in progress terraforming, which was being performed. Hey, get down. You leave him alone. You're a girl too, dummy. What are you humping his leg for? Jesus. Nope.
You're confused.
Yeah. Just so sad to see.
Is it Pride Weekend or something in town?
Yeah. Hey, doofus. Sit. Emmy, sit. Hey, sit. Is he playing? Is he? Sit. Come on. Butt down. Emmy, no. Sit. Sit. Good. Oh,
Let one rip there. Nice.
Yep. Okay, no, sit. Emmy. All right. So you guys are going down in the aircraft. The thing is is rattling and bucking like an angry steer, or an angry horse. And you can think back to the what do you call it? The mission briefing that had occurred on board the dropship, which is dropping down onto Vandenberg 3. Now, the way that space travel works in the Battletech universe is you use these types of transports called jump ships to move between different systems. Jump ships can travel up to 50 light years, no, up to 30 light years each.
That's pretty good.
And then once they arrive, they generally have to spend about 176 hours recharging their batteries in order to make the next jump. They put out these massive solar sails, which accumulate solar power, and then boom, you get to do it again. Jumps are generally made from the zenith points on a star, from certain points that are easily, that are gravitically stable, essentially. The other points you can jump are what are called pirate points, which are kind of like Lagrange points, points of gravitic stability otherwise in a system. Okay, places where the gravity isn't. Okay, stop it. Come over here. Come over here. Okay. Yes. Settle down. Settle down. No. Sit. Emmy. Sit. Psst. Sit down. No. Sit. No. Come here. Sit. Hey. Emmy. Come on. Sit. Good girl. Now down. Come on. Down. No. Okay. She's over here now. Sorry. But moving from those points, generally from the star into otherwise in the system, you use kind of like things that are modular craft that attach to the sides of the jump ships that then travel elsewhere. So if you're moving within the system, you're using what's called a drop ship. This drop ship has transported you from your station on New Vandenberg to this world. Now, what I was saying before is that this place was basically bombed to hell during the reunification wars. And as a result of it, the atmosphere has become incredibly toxic to human life. To live on there or whatnot, or to even visit there, you need to use rebreathers, or you need to be in sealed environments. It basically put a kibosh on any kind of colony that was going to be on here, apart from some, high value mining operations. What information that Mark received and was passed on to the generals of the 19th Army was that the TFA, or remnants of the TFA is the Taurian Freedom Army, a terrorist organization that is basically trying to drive. Yeah, she loves playing with herself. She's yeah. Okay. No. The TFA has a base on here. Now, well, and technically it's two. Now, one of them appears to be somehow they've smuggled in what's called a hyperpulse generator. An HPG is a communication device that allows you to communicate with someone up to 50 light years away. No one other than Starleague should have a portable version of this, but there's been there is rumors that that this there is one location where a mobile HPG is located. There's also a base that is apparently hidden elsewhere on the same continent. What is happening is part of the battalion is being delivered by this dropship. The main part of it, the battle mechs and some of the conventional vehicles, they are going to engage the main force, the main base. You guys, the Lambs, are going to engage the separate one, the scout force that they believe has the HPG. The reason that you guys are being sent in, first off, is that that's how Lambs are generally used. They're kind of like an elite strike force. You get you in there super quick. You get the speed and the mobility of the aerospace fighter, and you get the ground presence of a battle mech all in one nice unit. Also, you can get in and out fairly quickly. What they're concerned with, or what they're interested in, is obtaining the information on that HPG. They believe that there is, there is Mark believes is that they're getting assistance from somewhere else, and they want to know whether that's the Torian government, whether that's the what do you call it? Whether that's someone else, one of the houses. They don't know. They need to get this information, find out where they're getting their support from, both logistically and in terms of actual, guns and battle mechs and so forth, and bombs. So here we find ourselves in April, or beginning of April of 2065. You guys are going down with your lances. What do you call your lance, incidentally? Do you have a nickname for it?
What are our ships called again? They're called the...
it's a Phoenix Hawk Lamb, but it is not unusual for... In fact, it is usually the case that battle mech pilots, including Lamb pilots, name their vehicles. So what is the name of your... the nickname for your lance, and what is the name of your lamb? Of your Phoenix Hawk.
Lance and Lamb. All right, let's see here.
Wait, what? The lances are a group?
The lance is a group. A lance is 4 battle mechs. It is the smallest unit of, like basically smallest military unit in a battle mech army. It goes 4-man lance, 12-man company, which is 3 lances, and then 36-man battalion, and then 90 or 100 and whatever member regiment.
Tickles.
Amy, knock it off.
The Thunder Buddies.
The Thunder Buddies.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I have, yes. If it helps. Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
My lance is we call ourselves the Scalpel.
Scalpel, nice.
Okay, I call my Phoenix Hawk Starcat.
Starcat, okay.
I like it.
And the gang I call the Bloody Rovers.
Bloody Rovers, okay. And the Scalpel. Okay.
And
What do you call your Phoenix Hawk?
what would I call my Phoenix Hawk?
You can think about that and it will...
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Okay, so here's what I need you guys to do is, can you please, as you're entering the atmosphere, when your Phoenix Hawk is bucking like an angry animal trying to throw you, you control the Phoenix Hawk, incidentally, with a combination of a neural control, like a neural helmet, which is a direct neural interface to the Phoenix Hawk, as well as when it's in aerospace mode, you have a glove that responds to your hands movement to control other things like the Y and or the Z pitch and yaw and whatever. So that's where you're sort of you can picture yourself doing in your cockpit at this point. What I need you to do is, can you please both make sensor checks for me, please?
Sensor checking.
Okay, so what do we do? Just roll a d6?
Ooh, my did not
Roll
pass.
2d6, and you want to roll higher than your skill, equal to or higher than your skill.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
I did not.
Miko did not pass.
I rolled equal to my skill.
Okay, then that's a pass.
Nice.
Okay, Alf, as you're, which is not surprising given I guess your sort of your tactical mind. As you're entering the atmosphere, you guys for the atmosphere in what do you call it? Vandenberg 3 is a roiling thick mass of sort of particulates. The aborted or what do you call it? Sabotaged terraforming process has left an incredibly unstable and violent weather pattern. So there's tons of interference with the sensor. So it's not terribly surprising that you didn't pick up. But what you pick up, Jeff, is that fairly far away, there is, we'll say maybe about, I don't know, like 40 or so miles away, you've picked up bogies inbound. These are aerospace fighters, and it appears to be 2 wings of them as well. Now, normally, I was going to look this up beforehand. I seem to remember that aerospace lances are supposed to be 3, not 4, but I can't remember. So if anyone's listening at home who's a hardcore Battletech canon, I'm trying to be as authentic to it as I can, but I can't remember offhand, so I may be fucking this up. But there are 6 aerospace fighters that are inbound. Now, can you make, let's see, actually, because of your, what do you call it, your human tactical readout, Jeff, you actually recognize it as, it is 6 cheetahs. The cheetahs they look like that.
Nice.
They are light interceptor, what do you call it? Oh, sorry, Steve. There you go.
Yeah, cool. That's all right.
Light interceptor aerospace fighters. They are faster than you guys, but they are less heavily armored, and they are generally not effective at long range. At medium or short range, the closer they get in, the harder they punch. They are. The fact that they are deployed means that someone has either been monitoring the what do you call it? The approaching traffic quite closely, which would be really amazing for this planet, or someone told them you were coming. So what's happening is the main force is going to go and deal with the sort of the primary target. You guys are hitting the secondary target, take out the HPG, and neutralize whatever resistance that there is there. So this is going to be the first, however, first thing. These things are inbound towards your position. It's not clear from their trajectory, or rather roughly towards your position. It is likely that they will be picking you up as well. What do you guys want to do? There's 6 versus your 8.
Looks like they're in a bit of a tight spot. Well, they are a little faster than us. That's an advantage.
What you know is that they are faster, so it may come down to them deciding whether or not this will happen. But what you do know is that the 6 of them likely wouldn't shoot down the or wouldn't be able to shoot down the dropship, but they certainly could cause significant problems for any ground force. Drops, just like aircraft in modern day encounters. The aerospace fighters are to like normal conventional aircraft what battle mechs are to, say, like conventional tanks.
Right.
Aerospace fighters have the peak of technology incorporated in them. So they're and what they can do is they can strafe the ground as well. So where your allies are trying to, or your other soldiers, or other soldiers in your unit are engaging the other troops, they could have these things pecking away at them as they're trying to do that.
Yeah, that's tactically that's not so great. Yeah, I guess we should probably think, Jeff. Should we try? You're the tactician.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Okay.
We have to try and take them out.
Okay, so you drop down, continue dropping down, and begin trying to engage them. So it seems like they had the same idea as you, and they begin racing towards you. Now, what we're going to do is the rules for air-to-air combat in this are fairly abstracted. Rather than having like a normal map and whatnot, what you do is you sort of, if we were to play this as a like a regular encounter, what I would do is use this thing here as kind of a radar grid, and it controls sort of where you are in comparison to each other. You can't actually engage in air-to-air combat unless you're in the same kind of zone. So we're just going to be picturing that like you guys are looking at your radar grid or whatever, and you're kind of seeing these blips getting closer, and closer and closer, and then you finally get into the closest area. Now what we're going to do is we're going to roll a piloting checks, and whoever, basically what this dictates is your positioning in relation to the other targets. Now, it's sort of like the abstracted movement in Savage Worlds. If you guys are successful, and the other, if you're successful, if both of you fail your piloting check, you're at long range. If either of you succeed, then you add half of your unit's thrust rating. Your unit is a Jeff, yours is a 5, yours is a 6. So Jeff, you get to add +2 if you succeed, and Steve, you get to add a +3 because of your speed demon.
All right.
Right. The higher of those thrust modified rolls then decides what range you're at. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is piloting check. If you succeed on it, then you add to that result your thrust rating. Then we compare, and your margin of success is how much over your target number you rolled. Your target number is always your skill. Okay, so maybe we just roll it out here, and then that'll make sense. So they've got, and I'm going to have you guys roll once for your squad. Your squad will follow what you're doing, or your lance. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Your squad. Go over is 7 + 3 is not 10.
No, you got to see if you succeed first. So you did succeed.
All right.
So yeah, 10. Then you're going to add your 3, so it's a 10, which means your margin of success. 10 minus your skill.
5.
Bingo. So your MOS is a 5.
Yo.
Jeff, how'd you do?
I rolled a 9.
Awesome.
And my piloting is a 5.
5. Okay. So you succeeded because you rolled over.
Yeah.
Add your speed to the result. Your thrust is a +2. So you got 11, which means that you got an MOS of 6, right? Because roll minus your skill level.
Yeah.
Then they have a skill of 4. One of them rolled a 0, so one squad rolled a 0. We'll say Steve's, and the other one rolled a 6. So while one of them, they both succeeded, you guys have kind of positioned yourself in a much more advantageous spot in comparison. What range do you want to be at? Short, medium, long?
Just a sec. Well, our lances are best at medium range.
Yes, I think that brings everybody's weapons to bear then.
Yeah.
Everybody. All right. Yeah, long range, we've got the shot of 1.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys can be at different ranges if you want to. The penalty to hit at short range +0, at medium range +2 to hit, at long range +4, and then extreme you don't have. So what that means is that'll add to your target number.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So so medium range is where you're going to be?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to medium range.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do is we will now roll initiative for this, and we roll initiative each round. First off, Jeff, you want to make your sensor check for me?
Okay.
I was Pete.
Yeah, right, there's a washroom up here too. Gotcha.
Yep, I got a 9, so everyone gets +1.
Everyone gets initiative +1, okay? So then you go ahead and roll initiative.
So is initiative 2d6 again?
2d6, that's right, yeah.
Okay.
Now we'll wait for Steve to get a roll for the bad guys. Now, bad guys got a 3.
I got a 9 total.
9 total, nice. Okay. And we'll just wait and see what Steve rolls. Okay. I never heard back from Brent, so I'm guessing he got occupied by Caden.
Right.
Okay. So what's going to happen next is then we'll, let me see here. Okay, so your options on your turn are to shoot, to evade, and that's basically it right now. Evading is you make a what do you call it? You make a piloting check, and for every you take your MOS, and it gets for every 3, it gets a +1 to hit you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Your MOS is always going to be basically whatever you roll minus your target number.
Right.
That becomes your MOS. So, Steve, let me get your roll initiative. I'm going to quickly take a leak as well. We'll be right back.
A little aero combat. All right. Oh man. So like the Punisher was the only comic I collected as a kid. I cannot wait for the next Daredevil. Like it sounds like everybody's pretty jacked for it. Like they're starting to talk about the Punisher being a pretty long-standing character in all kinds of series now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Punisher.
It's cool. Yeah, the only comic I collected, I have like 1 through 40 and stuff like that. I love that character.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of Punisher comics.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you Steve, what'd you roll for initiative?
I rolled 11 on 2 days. Is that right?
Yes. Oh, 11. Awesome.
You get +1 because of my ability.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. 12.
Awesome. Okay. So as you guys are diving into finally, getting closer and closer, you hear a split second before you get into, your kind of combat range as you break through the big, pink and orange clouds of in the atmosphere of Vandenberg 3. You hear in an accented English, you hear someone say to you, "You'll burn in hell, Starleague oppressors. Freedom for the Taurian Concordant." And then these 6 cheetah comes zooming out of the clouds, and you guys come screaming towards each other. You're at medium range when you finally open up with your weapons. So, Steve, you're up first. Why don't you make so the target modifier? It's a +2 for for medium range, and they are not evading. They're going to be shooting you this turn, or try to at least.
Okay.
So you go ahead and make an attack roll. So it is a 6 or higher is what you need.
We get a 9.
9, nice. Okay, so I'm not certain on this, but what I'm going to do is take your target number. If you beat the MOS by 4, you get to add +1 to damage.
Oh, interesting. All right, cool.
Okay, so your target number was a what? A 6?
6.
You rolled a
9,
so not quite by 4. You what do you call it? Open up with your lasers. You do 3 points of damage to them. Ding! So 2 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That scours through the armor and hits the interior structure. So why don't you go ahead and roll possible crit?
Possible. Boom! That's a 7.
7, I believe is no crit. Let's see here. No critical hit. So you scour through, you see its armor is vaporized by your lasers. Now you have 3 lance mates. Go ahead and make attack rolls for each of them.
All right.
They have a gunnery of 5.
So 7.
7, yeah.
3, 4, 6. Come on, motherfucker. 8. There we go. Boom.
8. Okay, so 1 hit, and the wasp is a 2 at medium range, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's
the wasp is sorry.
Yeah, the wasp is okay. So it fires out. Missiles streak out and hammer into the side of the cheetah. Its armor is blasted away, but it does not hit any of the structure inside.
All right.
Jeff, you're up next.
Yep.
What are you doing? You got.
I'm rolling against 6.
A 6. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. I rolled an 11.
An 11. Nice. That means you beat an MOS of 3. So you do what do you call it? So that's another critical hit. Or that's right, another point of damage, which means 4 in total. Punches right through the armor and starts scouring through the interior. Go ahead and roll critical.
So it's just 2d6 again?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. 7 as well.
7 as well. You see that from the fire spewing out of the side of this thing that they're clearly, you've hit the interior, but no critical system yet. Go ahead and roll 3 attacks for your lance mates. They will
what's
have
their target?
Their target is a 7.
Okay. 1 hit. Do you want to know if it goes more than 4 over?
They don't get the same benefit. Only PCs get that.
Oh, okay. A miss and a miss. So
Okay.
1 hit.
1 hit. Okay, so it's once again peels away the armor. The lasers and missiles crash on that thing, and now it is the cheetah's turn to return fire.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we got 1. Let's see here. We're gonna. The ones that are the critical hit, each of them will make an attack against you guys. So it is a. Let's see here. They have a 5, 7 against you. So Steve-O, they open up with their. Oh, 1 misses.
Yo.
Jeff. Oh, critical hit.
Bam, bam.
So 1 fires against you. It hits, and you take. Let's see here. At medium range, 1 point of damage. So 1 point of armor damage.
Okay.
You can spend edge if you like to reduce that. You want to take it?
No, 1's okay.
1's okay. So the armor is scoured away by the lasers on the what do you call it? On the cheetah. Next up, I've got 2 more against each of your lances. I'm going to ask you guys to track the damage to your lances, please. Against, and we'll just go down like A, B, C for now because it doesn't really matter. Everyone's undamaged. So first one against you, Steve, misses. Second one hits, takes 2 points of damage. Or sorry, 1 point of damage.
1 point.
Jeff, 1 is hit, and 2 are hit.
Damn.
So you take 2 of your lance mates, each take 1 point of damage.
You said I had 2 points of damage, is that right?
2 points of damage to 1 of yours, yeah.
2, 1.
And the, let's see here, the Wasp has 2 armor and 3 interior structure. Wow, so it scours, no, yours only took 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Yeah, all the guys only took 1. The cheetahs only do 1 point of damage at medium range. Okay. So after this initial exchange, you guys all zoom past each other. Let's make powering checks again. Let's see how you can position yourself. They
7, which is better than 5. Plus 3 is 10.
You only add the you did succeed.
All right.
Right, you're doing the math absolutely right.
All
Okay,
right.
so 10, which means MOS of what?
It's if you got busy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You got it. Jeff, how'd you do?
Just a second. I got a 7, so an MOS of 2.
MOS of 2, nice. Okay, you guys both beat the MOS of your enemies. So as they turn around and come screaming back towards you, when are we engaging each other again? What range?
What do you think, man? Long? You want to try long? Or
Oh, you think they might not have long attacks?
I'm not sure.
Actually, Jeff, with your human technical readout, you can say, yeah, no effective weapons at long range.
Oh, nice. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, so you begin to what do you call it? Kind of discretion, the better part of valor. Go ahead, make your let's roll initiative here first. They got an 8.
Whopping 3.
I got a 10.
You got your +1 from him.
Make that a 4.
4. You got a 10. Awesome. Okay, so the reason this is important is because they're going to be able to make evasion rolls against you, so they make themselves harder to hit.
All right.
Because they're not going to be able to be in range. Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Firing my long-range weapon.
Okay, go ahead. It's +4 to hit, so it'll be effectively a for you. Well, your gunnery is a 4.
So what?
No,
it's a 5.
your gunnery is a 5. Okay, so it's a 9 you're rolling against.
Okay. Oh, it's hard to hit them from here. Yeah, I rolled a 7.
Okay. Do you wish to spend any edge?
How does edge work after you roll?
After you roll, you get to re-roll. And actually, I think I will try that. You can roll after it, but you roll twice and take the highest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll spend an edge. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll twice.
No, they're all misses.
Your lasers fire away, and unfortunately, you don't find any targets. Go ahead and roll for your 3 lance mates. They'll be rolling against a 9 as well.
Okay.
Actually, then it's their turn. So I'll go for pounding.
Is that the Avon?
So one got a 9.
5. So the
1 hit.
1 hit. Okay. Then so 1, and it takes 1 point of damage at long range.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to say it's against the same. You guys are focusing fire. So if you hit that one, go ahead and roll for crit again.
Crit it up.
6.
Yeah, no crit.
No crit, G.
However, this thing is being slowly scoured apart, though. Okay, then Steve, it is your turn. These guys have gone on the evasive, though.
Natural.
So let me see here. There is a plus. I think it's a +2. Hold
I'm
on.
not completely stupid. All right. So 10 is my number.
10 is what you rolled, or
10 is my number.
oh, you're to hit. Okay, hold on here. Let me. God damn it. So it's one of these things where I only need to look it up once. Let's find the damn thing first. Where are you? Evading. Okay, so it's sorry, guys. +2 to hit.
All right.
Yeah, so your total is a 10. Yes.
I can get a 10.
Boom! Oh, that's nice. 10. Boom.
And double, so double damage.
No double damage. It is a hit though. And what's the damage at long?
The long damage is 1.
1. Okay, so it's hit for 1. Assuming you're hitting the same 1, go ahead and roll for crit.
Boom. Crit it up.
Roll for your lance mates.
Critting, not so much. Rolling for the left.
4 is an engine hit.
What?
There's a gout of flame that shoots out from the side of this thing.
Noise.
And an engine hit is slower now. No, it's not slower. It's generating more heat from firing weapons. So this thing will be overheating when it. And with 1 point of heat, it takes every point of heat you get gives you +1 to your target number.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
Okay.
All right.
So this range, you guys pull off while still at extensive range, and you go back in again to try and engage. Go ahead and roll your pouting checks.
Wait, do we not roll for the other mates? Did you say?
Oh, sorry, your lance mates. Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
So how many am I rolling for?
3 against 10.
Okay, 3 against 10. Kablam! Come on, baby. Come on. Give me 6.
Oh, 1 hit.
1.
Okay.
Nope. 3.
Fumble.
All right, fumble.
Shoot. Make a pouting check for me.
Piloting check.
5. No problem. Something misfires and they kind of what you get under control.
All right.
Okay, so and we'll quickly for crit.
Crits. Rolling a crit. So crit a lot. Come on, baby. 9.
9 is a weapon hit.
Oh.
Scours out. This thing will not be doing so. 1 less damage now.
So we.
Yep. Pouting check for positioning. They got an MOS.
What number do you want to know when we roll? Do you just want to know if we succeed, or do you want to know our?
I want if you succeed, then add the thrust rating. So the +2 for you, +3 for you, and then that number, the MOS, is what I want. So so if you say rolled, let's say you were piloting a 5. If you rolled a 7, you succeeded. Jeff, you add +2 to yours. That becomes a 9. Your MOS is a 4.
Okay.
Margin of success?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So then my 8, 9, 10. My MOS is a 5.
5, nice.
I rolled snake eyes on my
Do
piloting.
you wish to roll edge?
What happens when well, okay, let's spend some edge here. Fuck this shit. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So we roll twice.
Reroll twice, take the highest.
Another deuce. It's 11.
Whoa.
11. Yeah, I'll take that.
Take the 11. Okay.
Plus 3. So plus 1 is 12.
Yeah, so you are definitely. So both of you guys get to choose what range we fighting at.
All right. What do you think?
The long range was really hard to hit them.
It's hard to hit them, but it's really hard for them to hit us.
Yeah, when they can't hit us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your choice, buddy.
I don't know. I'm gonna close to medium range.
All right, medium it is. Roll.
And you go. Initiative.
There's
Remember to add +1.
right.
Both of you guys get to add the +1 as well. They rolled a 7.
8.
10.
Nice. Jeff, you're up first.
All right.
The range is short, no medium, so it's +2.
Can I add that to my gunner number?
You add that to your gunner, yeah, to determine your target number. So if your gunnery is a 5, +2 is a 7 you need to roll.
Okay. I got a 9.
9, nice. So you hit. And then the one thing you want to keep an eye out for your gunnery is if you get an MOS of 3, then you get to do +1 damage.
Okay. I did not.
You did not. Okay, so it's 2 points. 3 points from you, right?
Yeah.
Explodes. One of the cheetah is gone.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll for your lance mates.
All right.
Target numbers will be a 7.
Cheetah, better yet, I call you George. What song is that?
1,
No idea.
All right.
2. All 3 hit this time.
Nice. They do what? 2 points at medium?
Yep.
Wow. Can you please roll 2 critical hits for me?
Nice. And do I want high or roll on low on?
You want the outliers. Really high.
Oh,
really-
okay. Right. One was a 4,
Engine hit.
and one is a 7. So
Okay, so the engine is hit, blows out. That thing's going to be overheating now.
nice.
Okay. Then Steve, your turn.
What am I doing? Rolling a 6.
You're rolling as target number 6, yeah. And then your lance mates will be at a 7.
Let's rock and roll, motherfucker. 6 it is. I'll take it.
Boom, hit.
All right.
So whack. That one is takes 3 points damage. Another crit hit.
Critical 7. Nope.
Nope. Okay. And then roll for your lance mates.
Lance mates.
And then I'll roll for them.
Starbuck rolls a 6.
Nice. It's a hit, no miss.
All
It's
right.
a 7.
Oh, you need a 7. What? Oh, yeah, because his
Yeah.
gunnery's not as good, right? 7.
Hit.
2.
Boom. That first one explodes.
Yeah. And last boy, 8.
8. Okay. Is a hit. So some of the armor is scoured. Oh, no, 2 points. The armor is scoured away on another one of those. All right. So the remaining ones, we got a cheetah firing against you, Steve-O.
Focus fire.
7, 9 is a hit. You take 1 point of damage. Lasers fire away and scour along the what do you call it?
Side of my beautiful star cat.
It's Starcat again, yeah. And then another one fires at one of your lance mates and hits. Your lance mate takes 1 point of damage. Okay, and then Jeff, 2 of them. 1 against you. A 7 is a hit. You take 1 point of damage. And then your lance mate is hit for 1 as well. The lasers flare out. And
How do I know which one it hit?
assume it hits the one that's been injured.
Okay.
Or roll 1d3 and just or 1d6 and just count through once, count through twice.
Okay, I'll do that for now.
Okay.
Dave is hit again.
Dave, Dave has no more armor, I think.
No, Dave has no more armor.
Okay. All right, next round. You pull off and let's see how you maneuver yourself. What do you call it? After the 2 cheetahs exploded into balls of fire, you hear the guy come back over the comm and screams, "You will die! You'll die for that!" Let's see if you will. Oh, they got an MOS of 4.
All right. Maneuvering.
Yep.
8 plus. Do I get +3 for that? That's about to pass. Right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so +3.
Yep.
11.
11. Oh, I forgot to add their. You know what? I forgot to add their thrust.
Who is it? 1.
No, theirs is actually a 12. Like they're massively faster than you guys.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. 12. Fuck.
Okay. So Jeff, how'd you do?
I got an MOS of 7.
Of 7. Nice. Okay. So I'm not going to do it this round. But here's something I fucked up. I just realized with Steve. Their thrust is a 12, or their movement is a 12, which means they should be adding a +6 to their MOS when they succeed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're massively more maneuverable. I'm not going to worry about it for now, but it's something to bear in mind that like maneuverability, how fast and how agile your thing is, even if you're lighter, it seems like it could have a huge impact on where you're positioning yourself, right?
Sure, yeah. That's a big deal in aerial combat.
Yeah. Well, and that's cool too, because like it means if you got a lighter thing that's got a shorter range or whatever, or on the weapons or whatever range benefit, if you're fighting something that's massively powerful up front, you could almost always keep it at range and kind of kite it.
Right.
Okay, so then it is Jeff. So you guys did succeed. Let's roll initiative.
So they're deciding the range.
They are deciding the range against Steve. Well, that's after you. Do you want me to start applying that rule? Like their?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay, so then they're dictating the range. They're in short range now. I get the loss of one of their allies. They're like, they hit it into overdrive. It's a Fast and Furious movie where they go into the impossible next gear that exists, and they come racing against these guys. You're losing them in the ochre-colored clouds, and until suddenly they're right upon you. Your sensor is screaming that they are here. So sorry, they rolled an 8 for initiative. What'd you guys roll?
A 7.
7. Okay.
I rolled a 4, but I guess I get to re-roll.
You do, yeah.
And I got an 11. No, a 12.
Okay, so you are up first. There are 2 of them at short range. What do you do? So that's actually no modifier to hit.
So this is easy to hit them now.
Oh, yes.
So I just compare to my gunner skill.
Yeah.
So I am +2. So I hit.
So you hit. Yep. Boom. What? So +2? No, you're. There's no modifiers here. At short range is just.
No. The +2 just means I didn't get +3.
Oh,
like 3 over. You want to know if I'm 3 over? Yeah.
Okay, so you hit that one. Okay, actually, that one goes up in a fireball as well. Devastated. Roll for your lancemates.
Okay.
And then it'll be you guys.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you.
3 hits.
But remember, you can spend edge to reduce that.
That's true.
I 3 hits.
Have to do that actually.
Yeah, 3 hits.
Go ahead and roll 1 crit.
I use her damage reduction.
Okay.
6.
6. No crit. You know what I would do is if I ran this again, what I would do is make sure you guys had copies of the crit table.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
That would just so you guys can make all your rolls. Let me know, and then I apply them appropriately. Okay, so you did you choose to spend edge?
I did. Yeah, I spent 1 edge.
1 edge. So we take 1 point of damage.
Right.
And then the other one fires against the lancemate. Hits. Your lancemate takes 2. You can determine which one randomly.
All right.
If you like. And then Jeff, against you, you're hit for 2 points of damage, and your lancemate is hit as well.
Okay, I will spend an edge to cancel 1 of the damage against me.
Okay. Okay, you guys are the ones who are on the player side. Do you feel like the point per point of damage, is that fair, or do you think that like negate a hit altogether? Like, are you feeling like shit, my edge is going away quick, or what?
Well, I mean, it seems fair enough. As a rule, the way it is.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because the thing is, you're not going to get a chance to regen like armor and stuff like between now and other things. So I'm wondering if whether it's better to just have you spend an edge and then that negates all damage from that hit.
Right. It's like you use your skill to avoid the hit.
I think that's what we'll do instead. Okay, so just because the yeah, otherwise you're going to spend like a decent hit from one thing, especially in abstract. Like on the surface, it's going to be a little bit harder to. There will be less hit all the time, but because speed becomes a factor in there. Like if you guys are zipping around at 30, your speed as the target factors into the target number. It doesn't in the abstract though. Right. Okay. So when you're in the air, you're much easier to hit. Aerial combat is much more lethal, it seems.
Right.
Okay. So so then apply those accordingly, and then one of your lancemates takes 2 points of damage. Let me know if it hits someone's.
No.
Awesome. Okay.
Dave and Frank both have no armor left, though.
Steve, you're trying to get some payback.
All right, baby. Here we go. At the rock and roll. Death to Torrents. 8. Boom.
Death to Torrents. Nice. That's a hit.
All right.
Okay, and MOS of 4, which means +1 damage.
Oh, is it?
Which means 4 damage against this guy.
Boom.
Boom. Go ahead and roll crit for me.
Success. Die, Dorian scum. No.
No crit. Okay. Roll for your lancemates, and then we will roll for positioning again.
The mates. Rolling. That's an 8 for one guy.
Okay.
Und, looks good. 11 for the other.
Okay.
Und, is that it? One more. Right.
Yeah, you got 3.
Look at that. 9.
9. Nice. So 3 hits against the same guy. Boom.
Boom.
Blows up, and then one of them takes a hit to his armor.
Tostios.
Okay. Then top of the round, guys. Let's roll for positioning. They passed. I got an MOS of 7.
I roll 4, 5, 8.
MOS of 2.
2. Okay.
I roll a 7. And then +3 is 10. MOS 5.
MOS 5. Okay. So they once again are, because they're faster, they've maneuvered in. They're coming in short range again. These guys are, gluttons for punishment, apparently. Okay. There are only 2 of them remaining, incidentally. One of which is has no armor left. So initiative. They got a 7.
Oh, motherfucker. Boom. 10 + 1 is 11.
11. Nice.
I got a 7 as well.
Did you add the +1?
Yeah, that's with the +1. So should I re-roll then?
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah, they got a 7 as well. So if you want to re-roll, you don't lose the original.
Right. I got the same thing again.
Same thing again. So who goes first then? I think you're going simultaneous.
Okay.
So that means Steve, you're up first, actually.
All right, baby. Come on, motherfucker. It's in the shit. Boom. 3's not gonna get me very far. All right, I go that.
Spend edge.
To reroll twice. Man, I'm getting low on the edge.
3 points of damage. They do
2, right? But I still have 3 guys to roll, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go stick with the 3 guys to roll.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Come on, fellas.
So go ahead and roll your lancemates, and then Jeff, you can roll for your guy, for yourself, and then I'll roll for the 3 remaining ones.
Come on. Oh, fuck. Do I get an edge back for that?
I got a hit, and it's more than +3.
It's for a lancemate, so no.
All right. And then, come on, motherfuckers. Jeez. 5?
5. 5 is a hit, yeah.
5 is a hit? All right, dude.
So Jeff, what did you roll?
Well, I hit, and it's more than +3.
Oh, nice. Okay, how much?
It's 4 over.
It's each for each 3. So for instance, if you spent an edge to roll before and your dice exploded, that means there's potentially lots more damage you did.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So okay, so you did 4 points of damage then, which actually leaves yours it does get a chance to try and shoot at you. Actually, it'll shoot at a lancemate. Well, I'm going to roll randomly and see who. Okay. Okay, once I stop rolling 5s and 6s. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it hits one of your lancemates, or tries to hit one of your lancemates. It hits, doing 2 points of damage. You can determine which one. But then
I've been doing it randomly, so.
Okay.
Dave! No!
Uh-oh.
So Dave he had no armor, and now he took 2 damage, so I don't know what that means.
That means a possible crit. 8 means no critical.
Okay.
So armor's gone. He's taking structural damage. If he takes 1 more point of damage, he goes kaboom.
Okay. So after you fill up your armor, you start taking structural damage.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that one was vaporized. Unfortunately, the bloody Reavers, is that what it is?
Bloody Rovers.
Bloody Rovers could not hit to save their life.
Not this time. Yeah.
And there's a flash of brilliant light as the lasers all miss, and it scores 1 hit on one of your lancemates, right?
Oh, dang. All right. Number 3 takes 1. Bam, bam. Right.
Okay. Now it is. Are you determining randomly, or are you spreading it around?
I was just spreading. Okay,
Yeah, spreading around.
Here we go. But blam. So that's well, that would be me then. That would exist. Roommate. So call it number 2. Well, that'd be 2 is fucked up then. Okay, so that's
2 is a possible crit.
2 is a possible crit.
See here, I rolled an 8, no crit.
All right.
Okay, so there's 1 left remaining, which pulls out.
Well, my guy's never shot.
Oh shoot! Yeah, go ahead. Make your guys can open up on his on the other.
Hold
wing.
on. Hold on here. Oh wait. There.
That's 1 hit. 2 hits.
Nice.
They're all hits.
Nice. So that is short range is 1 point of damage from you.
Yeah, they're just 1.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. You get to roll 2 possible crits then.
Nice. 6 and a 7. Those crit rolls are lame.
That's super lame. Okay, so armor is vaporized. This thing flies out. Now, this thing is going to try. This will be the last round that you have against this thing. Then it's going to use its thrust to get the F out of here.
Right. Makes sense.
So it will be trying to position itself at long range, if possible. I rolled an 8 for my MOS is a 9. Go ahead and roll for positioning, guys.
Yeah, I'm got a 5.
5.
Okay. Okay, so this thing's at long range. Initiative. If it wins initiative, it's going to be evading.
It's dead.
Oh!
Nice. I rolled a 7.
I rolled an 11 for initiative.
I rolled an 11 for initiative.
Yes!
Nice.
Okay. Now, Jeff, your ability doesn't cost you anything to re-roll.
No, I did. I got an 8.
Oh, okay. Shit. Okay, so this thing is now on long range. Jeff, we're going to roll 1d6 each until one of us rolls higher. That will determine whether its evading applies to your attack roll.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 5.
Yes! You get to attack then.
Nice.
So this begins to try to like swoop to the side, but you see exactly where it's going. So it's against a target number of +4, whatever your gunnery is, +4.
Okay.
Now, do you wish to spend edge before you roll?
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I got it.
Nice.
I rolled an 11.
Okay. So this thing is hit. Woof.
Yeah.
And yeah, roll for a crit, please.
3.
Engine hit. This thing hits to the side, and heat is streaming out. Go ahead and roll for your lance mates, please. They're going to roll against a 9. 1 more point leaves this thing a flaming wreck.
Last roll. 9.
9! Nice! Boom! There's a fireball that lights up the ochre skies briefly and dies down to nothing. All 6 TFA aerospace fighters are now wrecked. So, with the skies clear, you get a chance to assess damage. How are your respective lances doing?
Pretty beat up.
I'm a little bit up.
Dave is in trouble.
I got a couple boys. Yeah, we're taking some damage here.
Okay. So, The next target is, or your primary target is to locate this facility. So to reach the facility, you will have to, what do you call it? You will probably want to stay in aerospace until you get there, and then when you actually approach, in order so you don't have to land like an aerospace fighter. Like an aerospace fighter lands like a jet or a plane does on a big runway. You can change into your air mech mode. Air mech mode gives you a speed of 30 then. And you can, the only disadvantage to air mech mode is that you cannot engage in physical combat, I believe. Other than that, it functions the same. And if you overheat or if you get shot down, you fall as well as take falling damage as well as your what do you call it, whatever weapon damage there was. So this location is in a what do you call it? In kind of a higher elevation area, kind of the foothills near a major mountain range on the northern continent. What is your plan for when you approach? You don't have any information. The intelligence that you had thus far suggests that there is minimal resistance there, but it is difficult to tell. As you've seen with this aerospace encounter, your intelligence may not be bang on.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Coming low at an oblique angle, maybe look like we're going somewhere else, and then cut in fast.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay. So as you guys are making your approach, why don't you make piloting rolls for me? This is sort of your attempt to try and
Use a little deception.
Yeah.
I got 6.
Hey, you know what I'm going to say to you guys? If you roll a crit, if you roll 2 6s, you also get a point of edge back.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
Because that seems like another bookends. There's no other real benefit from a crit. So
Sure.
Right.
DM discussion. Boom, motherfucker. Boom. That's an 8.
so you succeed. MOS is what, 5, 3?
3.
My MOS is a 3.
Nice. Okay, so both of you guys bring your lances down. You're going off in one direction, maybe flying parallel to the mountain range, or perpendicular, kind of as if you're going away. You're about to pass over, then suddenly all 8 of your lambs kind of turn and go screaming in towards this. Now, can you please make sensor checks for me?
9.
MOS?
4.
MOS of 5.
5. Okay, awesome. Both of you guys detect that there is at this facility. The facility itself is a kind of an old mining outpost. I guess it's a tapped out mine that was tapped out maybe 50 years ago. The scrap remnants of this thing make up not scrap remnants, but the rusted and worn down by the elements remnants of the exterior structures. There is one major structure, like kind of a tower, that appears to have has power to it at least, and then there is an adjoining kind of like maintenance hangar that appears to have 2 vehicles in them. Yeah. And Jeff, because of your TRO, one of them is what's called the J. Edgar tank. The J. Edgar tank is
J. Edgar Hoover tank.
A hover tank, a very quick hover
J.
tank.
Edgar hover tank.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I've got a picture of it.
That must be the joke.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. There it is. There's the J. Edgar hover tank.
Is that actually what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's not a joke. Then that is the joke. Then J. Edgar. Yeah.
There is the J. Edgar hover tank.
Cool.
This thing is armed with medium laser and 2 short-range missiles, or a battery of 4 short-range missiles, I should say. which means no effective long-range weaponry. The other vehicle is, I don't know if it's in here, is a similar fast-moving vehicle. It's called a Nightshade, and it's sort of a I'll just say it's a very similar type vehicle. It's a little bit faster than the J. Edgar. It's a hover vehicle as well, but it's armed with a suite of like electronic countermeasures and those kind of things. So it's a suite of basically networked computers that effectively and sensors that effectively functions like your ability, Jeff, like where it gives a bonus because of the amount of tactical information that comes in and goes out. It's a command and control vehicle. It gives a bonus to initiative.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So those are the only two vehicles that you can detect.
Let's try and take them out.
Like just hammer the building and try and take it down on top of them?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, then what I'll let you do is you can actually, without changing modes whatsoever, you can just do a strafe by on this thing. And I'll say that so you unleash the fire on this thing, and because of the sort of duplicitous move you've made, you have vaporized that the building, and it explodes, and gouts of smoke and stuff come out on top. What are you doing next?
Nice.
Oh, we're supposed to be finding this bomb?
No, the RPG, it's a communication device.
Right.
Oh, it's a communication device. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we land then and then inspect?
Once you've secured the facility, you can call in an infantry squad. That is, there's a 28-man infantry squad that's kind of waiting in the wings to be called in once you've secured the facility.
Oh, okay.
Do we have to touch down with this?
Yeah, we should probably turn into battle mech mode and
go and inspect the premises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of the transformation from battle mech, from aerospace fighter into air mech mode is very much like riding an incredibly claustrophobic roller coaster. There's a kind of whang being janked down and then wham, slamming forward. You can hear the slamming of machinery around you in the dark, and then suddenly you find yourself in air mech mode. There's another series of transformations, and you land down in battle mech mode. You can incidentally drop with your jump jets, because in your battle mech mode you have access to jump jets. You can't hover, but you can fall from effectively any distance,
right.
And allow yourself to fall safely. So,
right.
How do you guys approach the final sort of facility? Do you like go down in air mech mode and hover and then land, or do you like drop down like kind of paratroopers in battle mech mode, or what?
Yeah, I'd say probably like paratroopers.
Okay,
on top of it, from high, like we're sky sharks.
Like you're sky sharks, exactly.
Yeah.
So wham, and you land down in the open yard. As soon as you land, you can start hearing the ping, 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 ping. There's infantry that is opening fire on you guys. Okay. And you think that one of them may have, you think your sensors detect someone is carrying RPG. Like an RPG type short range missile, something that could damage one of your vehicles.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
Let us. What should we do? So we're surrounding the facility.
You're sort of
it's a mine.
Yeah, I think the facility would be like there's a bit of a. It's set into sort of the side of like a mountain or a foothill. There is a couple buildings that have either collapsed or been blown up by you guys. There's the tower, which is still standing, which is again like it's likely been abandoned for about 50 years. It's one of these prefab things that was probably mostly manufactured on another planet, shipped here by dropship, and then assembled here. There is power, and actually you can see lights now that you're up closer within the tower. And then it's sort of the yard or the space between where the tower is and that what do you call it? That building, the hangar that you guys blew up. That's where you guys sort of landed, and it's from within the tower and from the sort of old mine entrance is where the infantry is coming out. They're all trying to take cover and stuff like that, and they're opening fire with small arms. And someone is bringing out a two-man powered short-range missile launcher.
All right, two-man powered.
What are you gonna do?
Guess it's time to light it up.
Yeah, open fire.
All right.
Open fire. Okay, go ahead and make attack rolls, guys.
Yeah. That is 7.
Whoa.
MOS DOS 3.
My MOS is a 6.
6, nice. Okay, so yeah, you guys both there's this flash of well, I guess like the lasers don't. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of shimmer from where the particulates in the air sort of catch the stray beam, but basically what you see is just explosions of silicate, and I guess a mist of vaporized tissue as you hit each of these things individually. Boom, 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 boom. There's a flare of violence. You cut through the entire infantry squad in no time. So with your sensors going out and your lance mates reporting that there's no other hostiles or there appears to be no other hostiles in the area, what do you wish to do?
Calling the infantry.
Okay. Okay, so you call in. It is about maybe I'm going to say 45 minutes before they're actually inserted by this sort of like assault shuttle. They come in, boom, land, and they take possession of the facility. After, just so you know, mech warriors sort of stand above anyone else normally, like any normal troop normally, because extremely more well trained. They're also often from an aristocratic background. You guys are then another step above that because you are members of the royal unit. You guys are the elite of the elite of the elite. Setting aside the fact that you are also, you're members of the major houses of the inner sphere as well too. You're relatively in line to the throne of the Federated Suns, and you're relatively in line to the throne of the Draconis Combine. Now, you're sort of on watch, so the sort of keeping overwatch, making sure that nothing else comes out there, Jeff. When you hear a transmission come through from the dropship that inserted you guys, and it's transmission is coming from Mark.
Oh. Hey, Mark, what's going on?
Alf, I heard that you guys have taken control of the Mark was incidentally on the dropship when you guys were inserted or in transit from New Vandenberg to Vandenberg 3. You maybe noticed sort of at the background, like when you guys were getting your mission briefing, there was some dude who was hanging out at sort of the back of the room. What does Mark look like, Jeff?
He's just one of those guys that is just super nondescript. He's one of those guys that you forget what he looks like all the time because there's nothing special about him.
Okay.
He's not handsome. He's not fit. He's just average.
Okay. So he's the perfect kind of, no-faced, or what do you call it, nondescript spy, right?
Yeah, like he's just an everyman kind of guy.
Okay. So you maybe just thought it was like, why is that technician sitting in here? This is weird. But he, what do you call it? He says I understand that we're encountering heavy resistance at the primary target, but I understand you've seized control of the secondary target.
That's correct. The infantry are there now looking for the, what is it, QED?
The HPG, hyper pulse generator. Essentially, it's the thing that the jump ships travel through hyperspace. The hyperpulse generator does a similar thing where it sort of sends disturbances over long distances, which is how they affect. Think of it like a hyperspace telegraph.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he says I have a request. Once the HPG has been located, obtain the data and send it back to us immediately. Don't wait for them to transmit. There is, I'm going to send you an algorithm that will search for specific subroutines within the data stored on the HPG. I need you to run that program and then transmit back to me the results.
Will do.
Okay, transmission forthcoming. How was it? How was the insertion?
It's not bad. We took some heavy hits from a squadron, but everyone came out okay.
We picked up those aerospace fighters on as we were inbound. Thanks for taking care of those. Those would have caused. I'm not sure that we could have seized the objective without. I also anticipate you're going to get news from your commander. So the Commander Ranella. Ranella has. I'll let him explain. Thanks for this, Alf. I owe you a drink.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, which of you two guys is the company commander? Which of you guys is the higher ranking officer, do you think? Or do you want to say that the third Lance, that's who is the commander?
Interesting.
Yeah. Steve can either be it or the other guy. I don't care.
Let's the third guys. Yeah, what the heck?
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want him?
You're more the tactician. But whatever.
That could be why you guys get along, though. You know, I mean, another reason why you guys get along is that you recognize the sort of the value in his tactical assessment, but
right,
you know,
but I'm the leader or whatever. Sure, why not? Let's go. Let's rock. All right. You could be. Well, I'm 20 years old.
You guys, honestly, this is part of the. You grow up fast in the industry. Right. You guys probably started attending the SLDF mech academies as early as like 15.
Right.
Like it's you would go through the intensive training and be put into positions of authority, especially mech warriors. Mech warriors are routinely placed, and in this case, for each of you guys, there's political reasons for why you would be placed as leaders, not as just grunts.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah, my brother's the Black Watch dude.
Never the Black Watch. Yeah.
You got me a nice little juicy post when I.
Okay. Okay. So it's actually you, Mika, that gets the transmission from what do you call it? From the Ranella, the sort of the commander of the operation. What the long and the short of it of his is first off, he wants a status of how the insertion went.
The insertion was relatively problem free.
I understand you secured the objective. Is the objective secure enough for you to take on a second task? We've had a complication.
Well, we've sustained some medium damage, but sensors are clear.
Okay. Once the HPG has been located, I need you and Karita to take your lances and begin a grid search for a bogey that has escaped. We experienced, the primary force experienced significant resistance when we entered, in particular from a TFA Archer. You know what an archer is. But Jeff, what you know, an archer is a heavy battle mech armed with medium lasers and a battery of 40 long-range missiles. It is a devastating artillery, basically the battle mech equivalent of a missile carrier tank.
Oh, wow.
It can have, the other thing is because of the long-range missiles being able to be used as indirect targets, you can basically hide an archer and have a spotter out there and then just rain down destruction. That apparently what happened. Pairing of an assassin with a battle mech. An assassin is a light. Oh, hey, Brent.
Hey, sorry, I'm just on. Just ignore me. I'm just on to listen and see what's going up.
So Brent, I don't know if you heard or saw. You know what we're playing tonight?
I heard the word assassin and I heard mech, so I have a rough idea. Nice.
Battletech.
So,
Hey, is that backwards on your screen?
I think only when it displays on mine.
Is that forward for you?
Yeah.
Looks good.
Okay, it's like a mirror, I guess.
Gotcha. Right.
Okay, so so basically what's happened is an archer using an assassin as a spotter has been raining down. So they inflicted significant casualties, and then were able to, in the sort of the chaos of it, were able to make their escape. We need to locate those two and put them down before they can cause any further damage. The difficulty is that those two targets managed to disappear into the box canyons near the primary target, so we're not sure where they've gone. There is a significant amount of airborne silicate particulates that are wreaking havoc with our sensors. So these things, we cannot afford to be spending either allow them to inflict the first round of pursuers that we sent in there. They managed to pick apart with long-range fire. If they have some supplies cached somewhere, particularly missile supplies, they could hold out for months and cost us more casualties that we can't afford at this point. So we need you to locate the archer and the assassin, eliminate them, and confirm that they will not be a persisting threat.
Interesting. So that's not what I say to the guy. I say, very well. We will we'll do that right away, sir.
Okay. Do you let Alf know?
Well, yes. I tell Alf we got to make a plan here, because we got to wait for the guys to show up, and we got to go find these other things, right?
Well, the guys are here. The infantry has arrived,
all right.
And then it's shortly afterwards is when the Alf got a call from his contact in Slick.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you tell this, Jeff. What is Alf thinking? Like, what's he going to do here? They haven't located the HPG yet, but they also haven't confirmed that the site is secure. Are you telling? Well, how are you going to handle this? If they secure the site and then Mika says we're pulling out, what are you going to do?
Like how much? I think I'll just tell him what Mark has asked us to do.
Okay, I'll see.
Is it like a secret? Would I consider it a secret?
I think it would be. But it's up to you whether you would trust Mika enough to share that with him.
Right.
Because the concern, if Mark asks you to do things, it's sort of an implied. It's an implied request that you keep it mum.
Right.
In this case, you haven't talked about it with Mark, but the fact that the TFA insurgents had aerospace fighters flying, either flying or on easy access to to flying Overwatch or to try and prevent incursion, that's suggests there may be some loose lips in the SLDF.
Right. I just have to decide if I trust my commander.
Yeah, Mika, enough. What do you think?
How long have we known? I don't know, Steve. How long do you think our characters have known each other?
You've been stationed on New Vandenberg for at least a year now. Like, were you guys? I could easily see, with given sort of how you described your guys, how they could either like be fast friends right away, or could have been like, could stand each other for similarities, and then over time became friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I trust him. He's one of my good friends. He's one of at this point, he's a good friend of mine.
I'm a bit of a Yahoo, but I'm trustworthy. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you tell him then? What does Alf tell Mika?
That before we can go, I'm just going to tell him that before we can go, I've been asked by Mark to run a program on the HPG right when we get it.
All right.
That the intel is too important that we need it.
Okay.
As fast as possible.
That makes sense. Sure. Maybe we should, I don't know, should we split up and scour the landscape in aerial form? And
Jeff, with your human, actually, yeah, you got your human TRO ability. The archer, so the assassin is a comparable. I mean, to be honest, I think you feel that the Phoenix Hawk is more than a match for the assassin. The assassin has no effective long-range abilities. Its armor and structure are a 2 and a 3, respectively, so even on a toe-to-toe fight, you could take it out. You're also faster in air mech mode. The archer, on the other hand, is a beast. The archer is incredibly lethal at both medium and long range. It has effective short-range things. It has an overheat value, so it can choose to overheat to do more damage, and the armor and structure are 7 and 6 respectively.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So this is now the target could have taken damage from the main force, so it may not be at full, but the other problem is that because because of the independent fire ability, if that assassin gets a clean line of sight to you guys, it can spot for the archer. So even at long range, the archer could be tagging you from behind cover, hidden in those box canyons.
Right. It's a difficult situation.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will mention as well that your wasps, the wasps in your lands, remember they have an independent fire or indirect fire ability as well. If someone, say you guys, spotted for them, they could then use indirect fire to target another target as well.
Right.
It's true. Of course, we have to find them first.
Yeah, that's... So I think this is a very dangerous mission that the commander has asked us to go on.
Sounds like it. I like the indirect fire thing. Tactic. Or strategy, I guess.
Right.
So, like, how much area do we have to scour here?
The primary zone is probably about... I mean, if you flew in, because you guys can transform into the aerospace fighter mode. Using a parabolic kind of approach, you could get there in like 2 hours, 3 hours at the most.
Right.
So you can get there to sort of the general area, and then it's up to you guys how you want to do the sort of the search. Your sensors have a longer range. Like one of the reasons they've tasked you with this is because you guys can find these things faster.
Okay.
You know, that the Phoenix Hawk lambs are sort of the pinnacle of the quick strike, target. To give you a comparator, the Archer, even though the Archer is heavier than you guys, it still does the same damage as you guys. Like, you do an extraordinary amount of damage at short and medium ranges.
Right.
One thing, another thing I will point out is that something that you identify, Alf, is because of the Archer's reliance on long-range missiles. The long-range missiles are awesome at long range. Fairly good at medium range too. But the trouble is they need time to be able to get up to motion. Once they're launched out, there's sort of a time, like think of like Hunt for Red October kind of thing. Where like, oh, the missiles. Exactly. So because of that, it means that it's only the medium lasers really that can be used effectively at short range, which means 2 damage at short range. So it's 2, 3, 3 with the Archer.
Right.
Easier to hit. Now the last thing I'll mention too is that on ground, then your speed becomes a factor. So if you're fighting a target on the ground, not in the air-to-air combat, your speed does definitely play a factor. And if, like for instance, if you were moving at your 30 speed, they would have +4 to hit you in addition to whatever other modifiers.
Oh, because we're fast moving.
Exactly. So the faster you move, the harder you are to hit.
Right. So we can come in close range, and continue to use our speed to evade them.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, that's the tactic then that we'll try and use.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's rock and roll.
Okay. So the you hear that the HPG has been located. You step. I mean, you have to keep your a rebreather on to get from the Phoenix Hawk inside, because again, like, this atmosphere is toxic and carcinogenic, thanks to the sabotage during the reunification war. You get your information, you transmit it back to Mark, and you guys get back in. Place is secure. You're off and into the air. So you hop up into, kind of jump up in your battle mech mode, transform into air mech mode, begin taking flight, and another transformation, and then boom, the 8 of your vehicles go sailing up into the sky. As you're sort of going along, Brent.
Yeah.
Are you on for the duration then, or are you just listening in for a little bit?
It's like 10 to midnight, so I'll just hang out and listen in. It's cool. I kind of get what's going on. It's neat that you guys are playing Lambs. I'm cool just like hanging out and listening.
Okay. Time-wise, Brent, the year is 2765. The place is New Vandenberg. You can feel free to do any search you'd like on, say, the Sarna Wiki as to the importance of those dates and places.
Well, who's the HPG?
HPG is the hyperpulse generator. It is
okay.
The interstellar so a communication device.
Ah, okay. Sorry. Cool. Who are they going up against? I get their Federated Commonwealth.
They are not actually. So everyone is the 2 guys. Steve is playing a member. Well, he's originally from the Federated Commonwealth. He's an heir to the Davian throne, but he is both he and Jeff's character, who is an heir to the Cretan throne, though secretly actually a child or an heir to the Cameron family, thanks to his father. And both of them are members of one of the royal units as part of the 19th Army, in the Star League Defense Force.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not used to that far in the past, but that's cool.
Yeah. So we are. What do you call it? It is now. Let's see here. Richard Cameron has been the Star-Lord since his father Simon's death in 2753, and at this point, the Periphery, since the passage of the most recent taxation edict 2 years ago, the Periphery is nearly on. It's not on fire, but it's surely smoldering. They find themselves in the Taurian Concordant on a planet called New Van. Well, they're stationed on a planet called New Vandenberg. They are currently on task on a planet in that system called Vandenberg 3, rooting out a splinter group from the Taurian Freedom Army, a terrorist organization with links back to the Reunification War 163 years ago.
Nice, and it sounds like the opposing forces are got themselves an archer and an assassin.
That's correct. These are the ones. These guys were part of the secondary, basically strike force to locate and secure the HPG and the information within. Jeff's character has a contact in the. Each of the guys has a military contact and a civilian contact on New Vandenberg. Jeff's military contact is a member of the Star League Intelligence Corps, a guy named Mark. Mark has tasked him with finding that Mark, yeah. So the what do you call it? You guys secure the place. The you go flying up, and unfortunately, the other Lance Commander is unfortunately unavailable. He's still tasked with something, but the Lance Commander, the third member or the third Lance in your company, assures you that he will be listening to everything that's happening. So, describe for me how you're gonna. First off, you'll get there through that sort of parabolic approach. So you get to the box of the series of canyons near the original insertion zone. The original insertion zone was actually an old settlement. It was kind of like the place where the terraforming was actually going to be set up. The original, there's the big kind of converter that spews crap into the atmosphere. It's clearly been damaged in some kind of massive explosion, and it has. And then you add the 160 or 170 years worth of wear and tear in this really harsh environment. What's the plan for sort of the approach? Is there like you're going to do a grid thing? You split up? What do you want to do? You also want to consider how, when you locate these things, how are you going to approach them? I'm going to grab some water while you talk that out.
Sorry, we don't know where they are.
I do not know. You need to figure out how you're going to do that. How you're going to find them. You know where they were last located, and
right.
Probably where they're hiding, but.
And so the HPV.
HPG,
right? So the HPV, it likely, if it's not where the infantry are looking, it's likely with them, right?
Infantry has secured it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Then never mind.
Yeah, we found it.
All right. And we've already run the program, and it didn't say anything about we can't use that thing to find our buddies. No, we can't, or our enemies. Yeah. All right. So should we?
Actually, you know what? While you're obtaining that information, you might be able to.
We might be able to figure out where they are using the HP.
Well,
G.
You tell me what the HPG is. Is basically it is a clear any off-planet communication will go through that HPG, through that device.
Right.
Anything that's going in or coming out of here.
So we can listen to their communications, is what you're saying, basically.
Well, it's stored.
Because it's stored.
Yeah, it's stored.
So we can pretend to be them by listening to their language and repeating their language.
Well,
and then send out a communication.
No. What I mean is that they may not be. They're not going to be using the HPG to communicate anymore because you guys have seized it.
Right.
But if you guys, if you went through their old communications, you may be able to locate some information about, like, maybe there's a base in there or something.
Right. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Are either of you guys? So you've had a chance to think about these characters for a couple hours now. What do you think they're sort of beyond being mech warriors? What other interests might they have? What do you think? Is either of them sort of a tech head?
What's my logistics girl Charlotte all about? Can I call her? Are we using the HPG?
Maybe. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right.
Charlotte's on board this thing. Yeah, maybe what?
Oh, she on board? All right.
No, she's on board the dropship.
All right, drop, so she's not far away.
No.
Huh?
Yeah, if he's got an algorithm that searched it, why don't you make? I'll say that Charlotte's got a skill of 4 in computers, so you contact her and maybe you're talking over with Alf, and then she says, "Oh," you say, "Well, shit, why don't we do this?" Great, make a what do you call it? Make a check for me, please, for Charlotte.
Boom, 8.
8, awesome. So MOS of 4. Okay, so Charlotte goes through what do you call it? Provides you with sort of a search. There's a bunch of local names, I guess, for the region around. I'll say it's to the west of the original terraforming spot. Those box canyons and badlands that sort of stretch out to the west have a specific name to them, and you run the search program in addition to the algorithm that Mark had Alf run, and you find some information that seems fairly promising. It seems like that there was some discussion of a weapons cache stored somewhere in those badlands, sort of a backup position, or a safe, so that if they had to abandon the main base at some point, there would be a backup where further, the fight could carry on against the Star League oppressors. What do you guys think? What otherwise it says is it seems to be it would be a place out there where they would be able to store a lot of stuff, possibly something that would fit a battle mech as well. So,
could I grab a large stone in quasi-flying state, fly really high, and drop it on the site, and just see what happens?
It is probably you could do that. Yes, you can carry a fairly heavy stuff in air mech and in Battloid. The location itself, I'm gonna say, is a sort of a prefab kind of area. Also not a prefab area, but like something that's been sort of thrown together with other sort of pre-made or prefab equipment. But it is located in sort of a place where there's either a natural bridge or sort of like a covered kind of cave type area. So it's I can't imagine that they would set up this kind of place in a place that could be hit from with an orbital strike or something like that.
Right.
Okay. So I don't know if you could drop something like basically right outside of it if you like, assuming you can find the place.
Right.
But I don't think you could drop something into it.
Couldn't damage anything necessarily, but I could see what happens. See if I rouse anybody's attention.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Draw them out.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, this is what Mika is proposing. What do you think?
Sounds like an interesting plan.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Okay.
A nice orbital stone drop. Woo! All right.
Here we go. Okay. So you, what do you call it? Okay, actually, what I'm going to get you guys to do is, why don't you make sensor checks for me, please? I'm going to not impose any penalty because of the that awesome. It was an MOS of like 5, right?
4 on the
okay,
tech
4.
Tech
Yeah. So I'm not going to. You don't worry about the static and feedback and whatnot from the what do you call it, from the environment.
Okay, cool.
So go ahead, guys.
Nice. Yeah, we're above that. There we go. Cool. But balloon, that's an 8.
8, nice.
Snake eyes.
Snake eyes.
Boom.
Hey, but you get an edge back.
Hey.
So you turfed it, but you do get a point of edge back. Okay, so fortunately, Mika sort of followed the directions and whatnot that were located in the what do you call it? In the communications, and you locate the spot. Okay, and it is sort of like I described. It's there's a part of it sort of like one of the canyons sort of winds along. It's about maybe about 50 or 60 feet deep at this point, and it's kind of a sheer thing. Essentially, what this is like this was looser, rock or whatever else, and then as soon as they started terraforming and water started running through, it just cut through this like it was fucking nothing. And then as soon as the terraforming stopped, it left a series of winding canyons and stuff open. So what these guys have done is sort of continue to hollow out, and there appears to be it goes down and then in probably about maybe 100 feet. And that's where they've built this sort of storage area. So you're above this, you fly well above. You sort of make a piloting check for me, please. And you get it's a +2 to your piloting because of the atmospheric disturbance.
Cool. That make that a 9.
9.
Boom.
No, not to your roll, to your target number.
Oh, make that a tie.
Okay,
7.
so you're barely holding on as you position this thing, and then whoop, you let go, and and it hits.
Nice.
Where did it
drop?
Okay, so in terms of range, where are you guys positioning yourself right now? Your sensors will extend from long range effectively, but you can position yourself and your lance mates anywhere you want, like in the sky, on the ground. What's sort of your thoughts here?
Well, the plan was to try and fight them at close range, so...
Just to creep up on it? Or hide in the nearby canyon and then pounce on them?
Yeah.
If there is one?
Oh, yeah. They're winding around all over the place here. Yeah. So, what is your...
flying through the canyons, yeah.
One other thing I should mention as well, too, one of the dangers of being at short range is you will be leaving yourself open for melee attacks. In lieu of firing its weapons, a battle mech can engage in physical attacks. A physical attack from an archer would do 3 points of damage.
What's death from above like in this game?
Same. Yeah, it is a strategy you can approach to do a death from above. I was just reading about that actually. Where is it here? Physical attacks, 19.
Death from above.
You want to explain to there? That's exactly what death from above is. Okay, you make a piloting check. You do damage equal to, let's see here, charge damage +1, and the charge damage, you guys are, what size are you? You are size 2, I believe. Let's see, size 1 for the Phoenix Hawk, okay.
Right.
So, you take your move, divide it. Okay, take your move, how much move you've traveled, which would be 10 in battle mech mode or 30 in air mech mode.
Nice.
Divide it by 2, multiply it by 0.5.
All right.
And
that's the same thing. Divide it by 2 and then multiply it by 0.5?
No, by 0.25.
Okay.
Sorry, 0.25. So, no, it isn't. It would be dividing by 4 then. Right?
Yeah.
Divide by 2, then multiply by 0.5 would be divided by 4.
Why
and then you add +1. Oh, because you know why? It's because you take half your movement and then you apply a modifier based on your size.
Right.
And then the damage to the attacker You take damage equal to your size.
I take damage equal to my size.
Yeah.
But the target takes.
The target would take. So let's say at your very best scenario, you come screaming down at 30.
Yeah.
And you hit this thing. You would do. Let's see here. 15 multiplied by 0.25 is 3. So it's like about 4. Plus 1 for death from above is 5. So you do about 5 points of damage. And then you would take 1.
Hey, that sounds like a good trade.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
You also have to make a piloting check too afterwards.
Before and after.
Yeah, or you're gonna eat it.
All right.
After, but yeah, wow, that's a lot of damage. Okay, so so with that in mind, sir, what is where are you positioning your lance mates? Where are you positioning yourself? Steve, you're obviously up in the air, kind of dropping this stone down there.
Right, let's have orbital. 30 up, basically.
Yeah.
30 long range, whatever long range is, I guess.
Yeah, 30.
Because I have to be long range for my sensors, right, or whatever. Right?
You do, yes.
Presumably, I'm using my sensors.
Yeah.
For this. So that would be with long range for what is long range? That's just
long range is hold on, I think
it's like 21, 24.
24, I think. Yeah. Long range is 24 or higher, or sorry, higher than 24, 25 or higher.
Brent, you know a lot about BattleTech, eh?
Yeah, it was, I think, one of our first games we started playing, and we've been playing it since, I don't know, at least junior high.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Both you, you know what? You guys should come out to Vancouver. I know a guy who actually has more BattleTech shit and knows more about it than all of us put together.
Wow.
He's my buddy.
Yeah.
He loves it. He's got a shitload of figurines. He's got a box of figurines, and he paid somebody to paint half of them. His name is Chris. You guys should come out and play with us. I play with him. Anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I haven't played board game BattleTech in a while, so yeah. If I ever make it out to Vancouver, I'm totally in.
Well, let's make an occasion of it. Come on out. We'll pick an occasion.
Nice.
I know.
Okay.
That would work. I just got to explain it to my wife, come up with some kind of cover.
Okay. We'll think of something.
Okay, so sorry. When this goes off, where are your lance mates? Where are your lance mates, actually?
So what are where are my lances? So what are we doing? Are you guys gonna hide in the canyons, or what? Are we gonna creep through the canyons? Take a sneak approach?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, and then I'll sense, and I can spot actually from up high in the air. I can spot, and then you guys can do your thing. Do some long range attack. Or wait, is it the wasps? No, they can fire, right? They can do.
The wasps can shoot indirectly. Yeah, they get an indirect fire of 1.
Okay, well, why don't I spot? They can indirect fire.
Okay.
And then when they're distracted, I'll drop on them. And
the only downside is that if you're spotting, you're gonna do it. Yeah, spotting imposes a -2. A +2 modifier on all target numbers.
I'll take a round off and I'll just spot, and then you guys can stay hidden in the canyons, out of sight, and you can just drop some shit on them and see what they do, if they come out. Yeah.
Right.
So
Use their own tactic on them.
Okay.
Assuming they're within range.
Okay. So so your guys are in the canyon. Jeff, where are you positioned during this? Are you gonna hide in a box canyon as well?
Yeah, like I'll be in the box canyon. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are on the far side of the box canyon. Your sensors live for any kind of heat signature or radiation signature. Steve, you're flying way up over. You position yourself, kind of rocking back and forth.
Incidentally, I'm really enjoying this as I'm flying.
Yep. And then the rock goes down, and you hear. Well, I mean, you really don't hear it over the screaming wind and whatnot too, but you can see it hits the ground. Bits of dust that comes up.
Mm.
There's a moment where you wait, and then another tense moment. And weep, 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 weep. Something has come up on the sensors. Can you all make sensor checks for me?
Yes. 8.
10.
10. Nice. Okay, so what's your MOS?
6.
Great.
6. Okay. Jeff, Alf sees this. An assassin.
Looks like an assassin.
Cool.
Light mech with long-range missile, small pack of long-range missiles, small pack of short-range missile, and a medium laser. So this thing kind of walked awkwardly out and begins going, scanning. I guess it's not looking, but it's scanning. Oh, it's picked you guys up, and it sort of, as it sort of walks out from and kind of appears from underneath, it begins to break into a run. Okay, so now let's initiatize.
Snizzle.
You got a 4.
Oh, I got a walking 3.
Jeff,
Nice.
make a sensor roll. Let's see if you get your tactical advantage.
Yep.
Awesome. So you got +1 to your initiative.
That makes 4.
4. Ooh,
Yep. I will re-roll that. I got a 9.
9, nice. Okay, so then Alf, you and your Lancer up first. What are you going to do? So basically, where it is right now is this part of the box canyon. So you figure like it's a sort of a narrow strip, and then you're in one of the ones near there, like very very close to it. We'll say within 10. So you could easily. I'm assuming you position yourself so even in battle mech mode, you could just jump over and down and be in short range with this thing.
Yep.
Short range on the ground. Sorry, was that?
I said that was the plan, so yeah.
So and short range on the ground is within 6. Up to 6 is short range. 7 to 24 is medium range. 24 or more is long range. So
Okay.
you and your Lancer up first. There's no sign yet of any archer, but the assassin appears to be trying to make a break for it.
Okay, I'll open fire on him.
Okay, so you need to move in there first, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because you got
Well, then we'll move.
right now. There's no line of sight to them. But what your jump allows you to do, because your movement is a jump. Well, actually, first off, what mode are you in? Are you in battle mech mode or in air mech mode?
What's the difference in speed?
Air mech has to be moving each round, but it can move 30. Battle mech can stay stationary. It moves 10.
I'd be in air mech mode then. I think speed is an advantage that we want to have.
Okay, but what that also means is that you have to move each round. But you could have been rolling, like running patrols or something like that around this area if you like. Well, actually, but what I'll say, sorry, Jeff. You know what? At the start of the round, you can change modes anyway.
Right.
You could have been sitting in battle mech mode, and then, like, as soon as you detect this thing, kind of, jumped in the air and changed and, take.
And then move in on them. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What are your or your lance mates doing the same thing?
Or were you gonna spot for them, Steve?
I'm spotting. Yeah, that's right.
You can only spot for, I believe, one target.
One target.
Oh.
What? No,
Okay.
sorry, for
Well, then
one.
they'll follow me, I
Alan.
guess. Yeah.
One Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Let me confirm.
It's not like laser targeting. Yeah.
No, because the thing is,
I'm gonna get them to stay at medium range, though. Well, no, I'll get them to move to short range too.
they're going to move to short range as well.
Yeah.
Okay, are they going to battle mech mode as well, or air mech mode?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that you're going to try and what I'm going to get you to do is, because you're moving this fast, is please make piloting checks for your guys.
Okay.
But what I'll allow you to do is to move at your full movement rate of 30 if you are. Just give them +4 to hit you.
Okay. I got a 7.
You got a 7. Okay.
9, 8, and 8.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys, like fucking pros, jump in the air, transform in unison, scream around the box canyon, and then down against where this thing is.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay, so you're at short range. Go ahead and make your attacks.
Nice.
Yeah. I actually bought it through Twitter. Yeah, I found the guy. He's a fucking terrific cartoonist.
Actually, Kev, I'm going to use an edge at the start.
Oh, okay, nice to reroll or to. So it's 3K2, but every 6 explodes.
Right. Okay. 3K2,
Nice.
6s can explode. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to use that for a drop?
Oh, well, it's not great. It's a 7.
7. Okay, here's the thing: is you can spend edge to re-roll. You'd be re-rolling using the same terms. 3K2, 6s explode.
Yeah, I'll try it out. I'll save my last edge, but I'll try one more time.
Yeah.
Rock.
All right. 6, 11.
Hey, wait, but you got a 6. That explodes.
Yeah, I re-rolled it.
Okay.
The total's still 11. It was a 2 and a 3 and a 6.
2, 3. Okay, cool. So what's your MOS?
6.
6. Yeah. So short range. No other modifiers. Wow. 6. So that means 2 extra damage.
Nice.
Okay.
So I deal 5 damage to him.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
The
Actually.
assassin?
Yeah, fuck. So what does it look like? You've just vaporized them.
Oh, we just came roaring around, and I don't know, opened full lasers on him, and just strafed right across him.
Awesome.
We had to drop on him.
So,
Literally.
so as he was trying to run away, he scoured through, and then the ammo in his the body collapses in. You're not sure if it's the ammo cooking off or if it's the fusion engine cooking off, but this thing explodes out, and you and your 3 lance mates go flying through the cloud like as if it was timed that way.
Nice.
Had to drop on him.
Okay. All right. Then it is. I think it was their turn. They were on 8. You were on a 7, right?
Is that with my... Yeah.
No, you were 4. You were
I had
tied.
a 4. I had 4, yeah.
Tied. So what are you doing this round?
Me?
Yeah.
I was hanging up there spotting and waiting for an opportune target, but like I could see the other one's vaporized.
Yeah.
So I'm still hanging up there. I'm just going to hang up
Gonna
there.
wait. Okay. What about your lance mates? What are they doing?
They were going to attack, but there's nothing to attack, so they could just keep lying in wait then, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it is on their turn. You think you see something flickering on the your sensors. Let's roll initiative. I got a 8.
9 plus 1, right? 10?
Yep. 10.
I got a 9.
Nice. Okay. So you see there is something coming out of that cave.
Can I identify it?
Its reading is large.
Reading is large. I'm going to drop right down that one.
Okay, so you're going to wait till it gets out?
That's right. I'm going to spin an edge.
Okay. So we'll actually, Jeff, what were you planning on doing this round?
Can I see it or not yet?
Sorry? Well, Steve Mika is holding his action until this thing gets out.
Yeah.
And then he's going to try and do the death from above.
Mm-hmm.
You will have an action before before they go, though.
Oh, okay.
So the initiative order is Steve, then what do you call it? Sorry, Jaden was just saying he was hanging out with a friend. Steve, then you, then the archer. So I'm wondering if you want to do anything before that thing comes out. You're kind of screaming through the.
What? Yeah. Do these things have any kind of other tactical things they can do, like, or is it just basically lasers?
For you or the wasp?
Well, either of us.
Yours is equipped with just lasers. That's sort of
Okay.
your armament. The wasps have, they have indirect fire. They've got some long-range missiles, so they can do indirect fire, doing 1 damage.
Okay.
Like for instance, what you can only spot for 1 person. Really, the reason is because like the way to hit a target from one person's location to that target is different than the person standing 40 feet away or 60 feet away or whatever.
Right.
But what you can do is if you guys have lance mates who are injured or whose armor is cooked, you could just have them firing indirectly and have the other ones spotting. So remember what you could also do is you can combine your speed bonus with your evasion bonus. So you could try, if one guy could spot and who gives a shit to take a penalty, you just don't attack, you just scream around up there flying around, and try and make it as hard to hit you as possible.
I have 1 guy with 3 damage.
Yeah, so
And Dave is very damaged.
Dave is?
Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll do. I'll get Dave to fly out to long range.
Okay.
That's where they fire from, right?
No, indirect fire, you just need to be behind cover is all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll get him to fly behind cover.
Okay.
And I guess they land then? He lands?
Yep, okay.
And turns into his battle mech form? Okay. And I'll get Frank to spot for him.
Okay.
And Ellen will stay with me.
Okay. What is Frank going to try and evade then?
Yes.
In addition, okay, so go ahead and make a piloting check for me.
You got a 7.
A 7, okay. So it'll be plus 2 to him being hit.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to find. They've got tables for everything except for fucking evasion. At least I can't find the damn thing. Oh, I found it. Haha. Yeah, so it'll be plus 2 to being hit. Okay. And are you and the other guy holding Edward or whatever you called him? Holding
Alan.
Alan, sorry. Are you holding your actions?
Yeah, we'll hold our action till he emerges from the tunnel for whatever reason.
Okay, so what are you gonna do for your movement though? Like your action will be different from your movement unless you're planning on charging them. Right now you've gone, kind of screaming past them, moving at like your maximum air mech move.
Right.
How are you thinking of sort of? I'm assuming that one of them is peeled back and is trying to get us, evading and spotting. The other one is has landed and is ready to indirect fire.
We will be circling.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then it is, and your guys are all with you. Is that right? They've flown up and they're kind of circling as well too. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So then it is the archer's turn. He comes lumbering out. The missile tubes have all opened up. I need you to make a contested piloting check with him to see who goes first.
Ooh.
So I got an MOS of it's 9, an MOS of 4.
I got 7. I got MOS of 2.
2. Okay. So he gets to fire, and then you get to do your action.
All right.
Okay. So the tubes all open up, and let's see here, who's he going to fire at? The Phoenix Hawk, or he's going to try and nail the one of the wasps. Let's see here. The wasp that is one of the ones with you. Are they? You didn't say they were evading, right?
I didn't say anything.
Were they? Was that your intention? Or are they going to shoot?
No, they were
okay.
shooting.
Okay, and you're at long range right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a 8 to hit him. Oops. Let's see here.
That's gonna make it tough.
No, fuck off. 8.
Oh.
Oh boy. One of your wasps was just nailed for 6. Go ahead and roll random to see who it is. Oh, no, 6 for 3. Sorry.
3. Random, rolling, like a roll die, boom, 3. One of my wasps? So, yeah. So, those are my, I thought those were my Phoenix Hawks.
No,
I don't have Phoenix Hawks.
You do not. You have 1 Phoenix Hawk and you have 3 wasps.
I just rolled a 3, didn't I?
Yes.
Okay, so that's by 3, so he's got 1, 2, and then 1 crit. Or 1 internal.
Okay, remember that the wasps only have 2 armor and 3 internal.
Okay, so make that
How
2
much
armor,
damage?
3 internal?
Yeah.
Let's call it, he's dosed. Boom!
Boom! Okay, so who was it? Who was the pilot?
Pilot was Joey.
Joey.
Yeah.
Okay,
Joey!
This thing steps out, and as your the archer steps into range, you're beginning to go down, and you're met by this like buzzing, swarm of short range or long range missiles that miss you and then vaporize Joey's wasp.
He was only 19.
Okay. So you're going flying
You're
down.
still a virgin.
Nice.
Yeah, probably. All right.
Why is he got really fucked by that?
I don't know. He hung out with my page a lot. All right. Here we go.
Okay, so what are you doing for? Oh, you're spending an edge.
3K2. What's
You're
up?
power
3K2,
check.
right?
That's right. Yep.
Here we go, motherfucker. Let's explode
And
something.
it's, so an 8 is what's your paladin?
It's a 5.
5, so it's +3, so you need 8 to hit.
That's 9.
9.
Boom!
Wham! You hit. Okay, so this thing takes 5 points of damage. It is rocked. I need you to make another paladin check to see if you're still standing up.
Shitty. All right.
And you take 1 point of damage.
Whoa! 9 plus 1 point of damage.
Yep,
All
nice. Right. Okay, so this what do you call it? Mika's Phoenix Hawk suddenly kind of cuts its thrusters, so it starts angling down and then screams down at maximum movement, only hitting its thrusters to re-angle or reorient itself at the last second, slams down on top of this archer, which goes staggering around. With a massive strike. It still remains standing just because the sheer amount of armor on it, but it did take a shit ton of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then it is, let's see here. Your 2 other lancemates haven't gone,
All right.
and your, Jeff, the one that's spotting indirectly, or trying to fire indirectly, go ahead and make an attack roll. It will be at short range, because it's within, I'm sorry, it'll be at medium range because you landed in the box canyon. But it's only +2 from that and +1 more from the indirect fire. Indirect fire always gets a +1 modifier.
Okay.
Your total will be gunnery is 5 plus 3 is at 8 to hit.
Okay.
And then your lance mates as well too.
He misses.
He misses, so misses.
Yeah.
And you have 2 left.
2 units left, and it's a long range to hit with I guess the one gun. So it's
yes.
1 damage.
1 damage, that's right.
All right, and
Yep,
plus
and long range is +4. This thing only moved. What is the archer's move? What was it? 8. It's +1 from its move.
10.
10. 10.
Come on, boys. Come on, motherfuckers. Nope. 5.
Okay.
Son.
Nice.
Boom. All right. What's
Boom.
up? That's 1.
Rocked again. Okay. Actually, its armor is gone.
Woo!
It did take some damage from before. Go ahead and roll for a crit.
Ooh, really? But I didn't do an internal damage.
Armor is gone and internal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Come on, internal. Boom. That is a 9.
9. I believe 9 is a crit. Let's see here.
Come on, crit.
9 is no critical hit.
Fuck off.
Sorry. Well, I believe I set you up for disappointment there.
A little bit. It's all right.
Okay, initiative.
Dizzle.
Initiative order.
A 5.
I got an 8.
11, yep. An 8. Okay, so you're up first. You're at short range. This thing turns towards you, towers over you as well.
Hello. All right. All right, let's shoot this motherfucker. Okay.
But here's the thing. You're in air mech mode, so unless you want to start your round and transform into battle mech mode,
Okay. What happens then?
Because you got to move if you're in air mech mode.
Okay, I have to move.
Have to move, or else you fall.
Also fall. Interesting. Can I move around behind him?
I'm going to require a pretty good piloting check to do that because you're moving in your air mech mode in a box canyon.
What kind of a fine?
I'm going to say +3.
+3? All right.
Like a bullshit DM.
Seriously. All right. I need an 8 to move around behind.
Do you have any edge left?
I do 1. Let's use it. Boom. 1 edge.
You know what I'm also going to add?
What?
When you lose a lance mate, you get an edge back.
Oh, right. 1 more. All right, there you go.
No, it sounds like something that when you'd be like, no!
Exactly. I was like, you're going to. All right. You're going to screw me up. Exploding. Here we go. Come on. 3K2. Moving around behind. Kablam. That is a 9. And that is.
Okay, so you're able to sort of swing around behind them.
All right.
Incidentally, rear strikes do 1 extra damage.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Excellent. All right.
Okay, so go ahead and make an attack roll.
Attack roll. That is a 8. Kablam.
So 8 is definitely a hit. Yeah, he is outmoved.
So that's 4 damage.
That is 4 damage. Yeah, and roll for crit as well, too, please.
Rolling for crit.
Wow.
5.
Actually, you got the 5 is no crit. However, this thing is nearly destroyed.
All right.
Okay. 5 internal. All right. So this thing is hit from behind, and it's really badly messed up. Your 2 surviving lance mates. What are they doing?
Lance mates. Well, I
They're
guess.
at long range right now.
Okay.
So they're at least 24 out.
I guess. Well, they can move, right?
Yeah.
They can move down, but then they have to take a penalty to their hit. But
Nope.
no. All right.
Nope, not in this one.
All right. So they'll move down.
Yeah.
As far as I guess they can go reasonably.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then they'll shoot.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is awesome. Okay, so it's actually not how much you move; it's how much movement you have available.
Okay.
That's what determines your target number to be hit. That's awesome.
Okay. So that works.
So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm gonna move here, I'm gonna move here, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to worry about that shit. It's just you narratively describe where you go. Your available MP is what tells you what your penalty to be hit is.
Huh. All right.
It's interesting.
So what should I do here then? Should I save as MS?
Well, here's the thing: is that they have to move because they're in air mech mode. But what they could do is just kind of circle around at long range, or they could try and close. If they're in air mech mode, they can move up to 30, which means they can go from long range to short in a second.
Right.
Regardless of wherever they move, where they are with their available move, they get +4 to be hit, plus the range modifier of +4. So without any other modifiers, he's already at +8 to hit them at the range they're at.
Okay.
So if you want to keep them safe, they may want to stay up there.
Just stay up there.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
And then what about to hitting? They're already +4 to hit.
They're at +4 hit, and his is a +1 because his is available movement.
Okay. But if they move down all the way, they would still be at plus.
It would be no modifier at short range for the range, and then +1 from his movement. So 5.
Okay. Well, let's keep some boys. Let's keep some reserves up to the sky. You can finish them off here.
Okay.
Jeffer.
Your guys can still fire at that. I mean,
Okay.
The target number to hit him is a 4 plus 1 is a 9. Yeah.
10. Sorry, 10.
Oh, 10 because they got a 5, right?
Yep. Here we go. 10s. 10.
Hey, 1 hit. Boom! This thing's hit, and it careens forward, and then this massive ball of fire explodes out. Oh! You're hit by the wash. I need you to make another piloting check for me.
Probably. Blast. 5.
No.
No. Oh.
Brad, you take 1 point of damage as your thing slams against the wall.
Dang, that's my armor gone.
Okay, so your armor is gone. However, the archer and the assassin are both down and eliminated. What are you guys doing?
Maybe we should investigate this weapons cache.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you guys investigate the weapon cache, and as sort of you guessed from the HPG or the transmissions you got from the HPG, this is a massive weapons cache. There is a huge amount of ammunition, stored down here along with spare parts and so forth. So this is sort of capturing this is a nice little feather in your cap. Not only have you neutralized a vastly overarmed opponent, unfortunately at the cost of Joey's life, you also managed to secure an enormous amount of supplies that the TFA could be using against you guys. So all things in, well done. The Commander Ranella will clearly be pleased with your results here. For the sake of so we're going to get a little bit more in for the session. We're going to fast forward a little bit here. So the operations on there is still some mopping up that needs to be done on Vandenberg 3, but you were able to there's no other active combat. The loss of Joey is unfortunate, both in terms of LAM pilots are mech warriors are a rarity. LAM pilots are even more rare. It requires a very
Royal LAM pilot.
Royal LAM pilots at that as well too. So we would have to determine what Joey's connections were as well. But it does leave.
I got some apologies to make.
Well, I mean I think that
matter.
Having lost only one in comparison to taking on an archer toe-to-toe is an impressive result anyway. Yeah. It's about another maybe week or so of mop-up, but and securing all the ammunition and so forth, and you guys then make it back to it's I'll say maybe a 3-day or 4-day trip back to New Vandenberg. And to the garrison. After spending that long on the dropship and that long with your fellow colleagues, the last thing that you what do you call it? The last thing that you want to be doing is spending more time with other soldiers. So really, as soon as you get back, as soon as you finish your debriefing, get your stuff back in your bunk, both of you kind of like, I'm not sure which of you pops in on the other and says like, you want to go. Yeah, let's go. And you guys sneak off off base. What's the name of the bar that you guys go to?
Oh,
the place where there's the gambling and there's the TFA guy. Not the TFA, the Taurian Armed Forces guy.
The Rusty Tank.
Rusty Tank, love it. Right. Okay, so the Rusty Tank is a I'm gonna say it's an old dates back long ago as one of those like early settlement places. Like this could be hundreds of years old. It's the outside of it is just blasted, with just for being that old. It's all rusted through, but inside there's it's a nice big massive open area where it's so noisy that you can barely hear what's going on at your table. But you don't need to hear at a poker table, do you?
No.
So you're all sitting there, so that at your the table the top of this thing is filled with a haze of smoke and
the dank tank.
Yeah, the bank tank.
The dank tank.
The dank tank. Yep. And you meet up with with Marco. Was it Marco?
Mark.
No,
Carlos.
What's that?
Carlos is the
Carlos. Thank you. Yes, you guys get in there. And you talk to so you sit down and you see the guy again. Your friend, who's your friend who's in the Taurian Armed Forces?
I have
what's his name?
I didn't come up with a name for him. What are Taurian names like?
Taurians, I believe, English as well. And then I can't remember what the other. Let me see here.
Trevelin.
Who?
Trevelin.
Tremelin?
Trevelin. Trevelin.
Trevelin. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Trevelin sits down, and I see. There's a little back. Oh, it's just. Oh, you're back. So I thought you'd given up on us, but I'm always happy to take those Star League dollars from you. Okay, have a seat.
See if you can take him.
Okay. So you sit down and you start playing away. While this is done, how do you meet up with Carlos, Jeff?
I would say that Carlos has a specific booth that he is always in at the Rusty Tank.
Okay.
So I just head over to his booth.
Okay. Carlos is because he's sort of a busy dude. He sort of also, incidentally, you guys are, I'm guessing, dressed exclusively in civilian clothes at this point too, because you do not. The predominant Taurian opinion of Star League is not good, and a lone Star League soldier could get ganked quite easily.
Gang to the tank.
Gang to the tank, even worse. Bear with me in a momento. Where is it here? Oh, sorry. Okay. So what you do is you find Carlos sitting there. He's talking to a guy. He sees you coming over, and he says, "All right, look, we'll talk about this after. Go." He looks up, and it's that same oily grin he gets in his face all the time. Alf, konnichiwa.
What's up, Carlos?
Not much. Things are getting noisy around here, though. You guys were visiting off planet, I hear?
Yeah, we were. Always an adventure, my friend. Always an adventure.
Yeah. The whatever you did, I think it's causing them to smart, because there's no news of it on any of the channels. Even the most hardcore anti-Star League, they ain't saying nothing about whatever happened. So you gave them one hell of a black eye, I'm guessing. Like I said, one of the things with the Taurian Concordant is that they're the most, arguably the most educated and free people in the inner sphere. What comes with that as well is that they have opened, like every other place has a government-controlled media outlet, and sometimes some other outlets as well. The Taurian Concordant has no government control over media. It's open source for whatever. So you get the pro-Star League, you get the middle of the road, you get the vehemently anti-Star League, which is growing more and more popular, in particular in the last 2 years. But even they have made no comment on any strike against the freedom fighters.
Would civilians know the mechs at all?
They may. It depends on whether they would be kind of like, in the same way that there's like military nerds in our world, or like comic nerds or whatever. There are those here too, but it's not like unless they're of that subset, they may not really be able to distinguish between the different kinds of mechs.
Well, and also there might be certain mechs that more people would know.
Yeah, there are iconic type things. Like, for instance, there's a type of mech called a griffin, and in the throne room of the Lyran Commonwealth, there are flanked rows of griffins that stand there, like an honor guard.
Oh, okay.
That's a distinctive kind of silhouette.
I'll ask Carlos if he knows what an archer is.
Archery kind of things. Big?
Big, dangerous mech.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what we took out today.
That's impressive. So I've got a little more information for you too. Turns out that I've heard something, but this really cannot come back to me. And it's going to
All right.
Once you see it, you'll see it's worth it, but it's triple what you normally pay.
Okay.
Triple.
Fair enough.
All right. Well then, if you've got the credits, then I've got, and during the, what do you call it, there's music playing in the background, and then there's a series of kind of big, like video screens or whatnot, or sort of displays up on the wall that are playing, like, sports on some and whatever else, and there's music pumping over, and it's at that moment when you guys hear this sort of like, there's what you call, the music cuts out, and then each one of the channels suddenly turns. It's all the same thing. It's a series of what do you call it? News channels, and every single one of them has the breaking news kind of banner cutting across it. And at first they're sort of all saying different things, but then the audio clicks into one of the channels, and what you guys see. At first is nuclear. You see the words "nuclear strike," and you see the word "perdition." Now, you guys don't need to make rolls for this, but you know that perdition is one of the other worlds, not more than about 40 light years from here. Sorry, actually not 40. It's a little more than that. It's about 2 jumps away, and what you basically, as soon as the audio kicks in, it's sort of partway through the reporter's story, and it says, reporting again that we are getting word directly from Perdition, breaking news, early this evening a nuclear device was detonated at Star League Defense, at the local Star League Defense garrison. The damage is extensive, and it appears that there were no survivors. The oh dang it, I had it written down. I can't remember what the name of the the 265th Heavy Assault Regiment of Star League Defense Force, 19th Army, is believed to have been eliminated to the man and woman. The streets of supporters of Taurian independence and opponents of the Star League occupation have taken to the streets, and on the planet of Perdition, and protesters are gathering outside the garrisons of Star League Defense Forces on every planet that has their presence between here and for 100 light years out. This is a day to remember. Long live the Taurian Concordant. This is the Taurian Concordance and freedom from the Star League, from the iron grip of the Star League. And it cuts to these. You can see in the background. There's crazy scenes of people taking to the streets, and people like holding burning flags that feature the Cameron Star. That is the symbol of the Star League. Do either of you know anyone who was serving in the 265th?
Probably met somebody along the way.
Okay. How about you, Jeff? Does Alf know anyone in there?
Yeah, just like loose acquaintances, though. No,
Okay.
no friends.
Okay. So, with that news, the context is like this is the terrorist strikes that have happened over the last 2 years have been, it's a car bomb here, a car bomb there, a nuclear device going off and vaporizing an entire regiment like that is this is something that is going to require a response from the Star League Defense Force. This isn't something that can be just cooled down. As soon as you guys are sort of, you guys are sort of processing this, and that's when Carlos kind of leans into you, and he says, "All right, you and your friend who's spending Star League dollars, you need to get out of here immediately. I'm not going to charge you for this. just get him out of there. But I've got word from a friend. I hear that 10 worlds, including New Vandenberg, will be declaring independence from the Star League within the next week.
Wow.
This, and he kind of points at the screen, this is just the start. And you can hear in the crowd, you can see that the news of this thing is getting a very favorable response. People are like, this is the news of are being greeted with the same kind of joy and exuberant approval that your city getting the Olympics does.
Right.
As soon as this happens too, you're sitting at the table, and as soon as it's finished up, what's his name? Sorry, your guy. Oh, Trevelyan. Trevelyan kind of says, "Well." As they're all kind of cheering, everyone else is standing up. The only two people who are seated at this table right now is you and Trevelyan. And Trevelyan looks over at you and he says, just kind of makes a motion like, you know.
Okay.
So, what are you guys doing?
I am grabbing them and getting out of here.
Okay.
I tip my hat at Trevelyan. And
as you guys, so as you are, you're kind of getting up. Are you just leaving your like whatever it is?
I fold, and then that's that. I take the chips and go.
Okay, so you grab your chips and go. Carlos, as you're starting to get up, Alf, Carlos kind of grabs your arm and he says, he says, I think that someone noticed your friend's bet, and you sort of follow. Steve, you're getting up and kind of putting your jacket on, and Alf, you can see that there is a group of about 5 guys that are making their way towards they're sort of talking with each other, and they're beginning to both move towards where Mika is stationed, and they're beginning to collect more guys. You recognize them, having been here enough, you recognize them as sort of some of the local, hotheads who love having an excuse to, the local sports team didn't win. We're going to kick some heads in. There was a strike at the plant, so they got to lose some hours. They're going to kick some heads in. Knowing that the Star League, a massive strike against the Star League has been initiated, and you got someone who's, even though you're hiding yourself, Star League dollars look very different from the Taurian bulls. It looks like there may be some trouble coming for Mika. What are you doing? It doesn't look like Mika even notices. You're sort of up away. You're maybe about 20, 25 feet away from where Alf is, and there's a fairly now raucous crowd between the two of you.
Do we have pistols or anything?
You tell me. Would you have brought them with you? You certainly would have been issued them.
Is it normal to carry them?
They are part of your standard uniform, and I imagine that.
Are we wearing our uniforms?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think it would be unreasonable to think that you would bring these. That this is a very hostile environment.
And how likely is it that civilians are carrying weapons?
It is tough to say. Probably not. But there seems to be a lot of these. It is a freedom kind of embracing place. So who knows what might be. It's unlikely that they're packing heat, and it's also a seedy place too. So the likelihood is probably higher. But it's not like the Old West where every guy's got a 6-shooter.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Is pulling out my pistol enough to deter them from attacking?
In here, maybe not. Also, it's so crowded in here that trying to sort of well, I don't know. I mean, it really it depends. I don't know how we haven't established really how forceful of a presence that Alf is, but
Right.
what are you thinking? As your hand kind of goes towards the pistol, and you're sort of trying to figure out, you see these guys getting closer to Mika, who's now zipping up his jacket. You and Mika both sort of make eye contact with each other, and Mika, you can see the sort of look of concern or not panic, but like fear, I guess, a little bit. Would fear be a fairer characterization of it?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You guys look at each other, and then you turn and realize that you see these guys coming towards you, and as you make eye contact, one of them kind of, opens his mouth and begins to point at you.
Mm.
That's where we'll leave the session.
Ah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sehr gut.
So
Good stuff.
we got about a fair amount of what I was planning on getting done, but okay. First off, for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for this special and unusual edition of the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. I will be posting links to the optional rules and some of the game materials that were used in this session in a link below. Just give me a day or so to get that all together. Thanks very much for listening and watching, and we will see you on our regular scheduled podcast in about a week's time.